Hey, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. I got DJ Never.
Yo, what up?
DJ D Miles.
What's good?
I got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
We got special guest host today, the homie DJ Moma.
Yeah.
Right? Straight from Everyday People, LA.
Right on.
It's good. And we got a special guest today, one of LA's finest, DJ for Boss in Dreamville. We got the homie Nitrane in the building.
What up, man? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Man. About time, man. Time. Way overdue. What up, man? Thank you guys for having me.
Nah, thanks for coming through.
Mo's a great surprise, by the way. So
yeah.
I'm glad he's here.
What do you call it? We heard you spin last night at Everyday People LA.
Yeah.
And
it was fun.
Did a dope set.
Thank you.
You were saying it was hard to follow.
It was
Moma's set because he just kind of dropped every heater known to man, right?
Rightfully so. It's his party. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But I was prepared for Mo to do that. Like I knew Mo was gonna do that. I've been to a bunch of them where I know what an Everyday People Mo set may be.
Yeah.
Right on.
You know. So,
but he went extra. Pause. He went
crazy.
Hard. Yeah,
he
went ballistic.
Crazy. So
I burned everything above everything above 80 BPM. I burned
every song possible. Yeah. And I was telling Jamie, I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna play.
He texted me, he's like, now I don't even know what to play. We're brainstorming on our text messages.
You said some mid 2000s. I was like,
yeah, mid 2000s might work.
That's not gonna work. But
you know what always works? That what era is that? Is that 2011? I'm on one. That whole era. That really works.
The Young
right
Money
now.
era.
Yeah. People just sing along.
But people like sleep on that. They don't play a lot of those tracks, yo.
No. Yo, I played it at the Brooklyn Mirage last week. I opened up for
How
J.
was
Cole.
that?
Not bragging. I'm not bragging.
Yo, you dropped something. Yo, you dropped something. You dropped something, Mo.
I saw it, man. Yeah.
Let's talk about this though. Let's talk about you did basically Revenge of the Dreamers 3 just dropped.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
And it was like a special a J. Cole concert, right?
So the documentary for Revenge of the Dreamers 3 dropped on July 3rd, right? And the album was supposed to drop on Friday, July 5th, which it did at midnight. And Thursday, July 4th, right in between, Cole was booked for a day party, quote unquote, at the Brooklyn Mirage. They didn't really advertise it as a show.
Right.
We knew he was going to perform. They were selling $100 tickets. His fans were like out. It was crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I saw the videos. Yeah.
And I knew he was going to do a 30-minute set at the very least. And Crooked, you know, when artists get booked for club sets, they do 2 or 3 songs.
Nah, Cole can do like 45 minutes.
Yeah, Cole just kept giving it to the fans, and he gave them a full show. He gave them 30 to 40 minutes, and they got their money's worth. And then at the end of the show, Ebe, president of Dreamville,
your brother,
full disclosure, one of my younger brothers, just started playing the album at Brooklyn Mirage.
It was like Revenge of the Dreamers
before it dropped, like 2 hours before it dropped. Just playing track by track. They were playing Costa Rica. They were playing what's the opening track with the Kendrick hook?
Under the Sun.
Under the Sun. I mean, people were just going
I think
crazy.
Under the Sun. I think that's the one.
I love that song. Yeah. Under the Sun is incredible. What else is? I love Costa Rica.
I mean, Down Bad.
Down Bad.
It's hard.
That was one of the first songs that was created in Atlanta.
Really?
So
what was the vibe like? You was there, right?
Yeah.
Both of y'all were there.
We were both there, and I think that's actually a good segue to ask Nitrane about Dreamville.
Mo's here.
You know, and your connection to Dreamville and how it all started and how you ended up DJing for my brother Boss.
Yes.
This is why Moma comes back, bro.
I'm so glad Moma's here, man.
Yeah.
But so you have 2 brothers that are affiliated and a part of Dreamville.
Yeah.
2 younger brothers. That's Boss, whose last album was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then there's
Just went go.
And Ebe, who's president of Dreamville.
Right on.
Right. And who's basically best friends with Cole. Like they went to school together.
They went to college together, and they just started the whole J. Cole journey together, and now they're just running this amazing record label platform, Dreamville.
So you was there the whole time, Nitrane?
I was there for about 8 days of it. I got there probably the second day, and I left the day before the last day because we had to do a Tiny Desk performance in D.C.
Nice.
So, but the vibe there was incredible. It's like the most, like Dreamville is very family oriented, So pretty much it was competitive, but still friendly and family oriented.
I got there for the last couple of days. How did it start the first few days? Like, who was there? Was it just like the core of Dreamville, or did they already have like all the other people like Shmino?
The crazy thing is, like, the first 2 days it was just pretty much the core and then just friends of the core. But with social media just being involved, everybody was pretty much seeing what was going on in
real time.
Yeah, in real time. So invites were being made the day of, and people were flying in, like, wanting to be a part
Who thought
of
of that
it.
invite shit?
I think it was Cole.
Was Cole?
I think it was Cole who thought about
So
it.
it was basically, it was like a flyer that would say you're invited to the Dreamville Revenge Sessions.
It was saying we request your appearance.
Right.
At, the Dreamville sessions, Revenge of the Dreamer sessions, and that's pretty much how.
And were they just kind of like, it was almost like some type of hashtag social media challenge, right?
It was literally an invitation. It was not supposed to be you weren't supposed to post it. Pretty much.
Okay.
It was an invitation.
But people started posting it like the ultimate flex.
Yeah, and it became
that was a fucking flex.
It
bro.
became a thing.
Fuck
It
that.
really became a thing.
You
where
posted your invite, right?
I mean, yeah, like there was probably
both did.
100 invites already out.
I remember Momo posted his. He's like, I guess I'm going to Atlanta. Guys.
Yeah,
Pit stop at Atlanta.
Yo,
You're going somewhere.
I was, again, not bragging, but this is quite a flex.
It is a
I
flex.
was in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And I had to go to Brazil.
Yeah,
And my connecting flight was through Atlanta.
It's Delta, yeah.
And then they sent me the invite, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going through Atlanta anyway. You know what I mean? So I stopped in Atlanta for about 24 hours. I got in on a couple of sessions.
Produced some stuff out
Ebe,
there.
if you're listening, I need to get that track. We made a track with Masego. Swiss Beats was on the hook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ebe is just sitting on a vault.
It's crazy.
Of over 100 songs.
It was
He put-
158 songs made,
Something like
and
that.
only 18 came out or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so we made, I think me and my production partner, Guy Furious, we were on like 2 or 3 tracks. I still need to get my hands on them.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it was
Steal those tracks. You could premiere them here at the Road Podcast.
it was nuts.
How were
For
you
the right fee.
How were you involved, Nitrane? What was like?
I was a fly on the wall. I like being a guy who's just a fly on the wall. And if I don't like something, I'm just gonna be like, yo, maybe not. Don't do this. Or
How many
you know.
songs did you hear where you're like, nah, that's not it?
I mean, it's probably, but they were all like in the early stages. Like everybody was creating in the moment. So
Right.
Somebody would do a hook and we'd just be like, yeah, try it this way or do something.
Oh, so you were ghostwriting.
not at all.
I see what you did there.
He was quote unquote producing.
Ghost
producing, yeah.
That's
No,
what
not
an
at all.
executive producer does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is hot. This ain't hot.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to sit there on a snare and fix it for 45 minutes.
Right.
But, as DJs, we know what's good and what isn't and what could work. So if I could just add my 2 cents, that's really...
Were any of y'all motherfuckers there when they were recording 1993?
Yes, but I was in a separate room. That was in 222, which is...
That song upset me a little bit
Why?
because it was like a really dope Helter Skelter La Flamme La Flamme.
It did sound like,
Scotch beat, but like a
Elite.
2019 version of
That's elite. Yeah.
of the health, like like La Flamme La Flamme.
Well,
right?
it was produced by Elite,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
one
Shouts
of
to Elite.
Cole's earliest collaborators,
Oh,
who's
right.
actually a part of Rough Riders.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he actually comes from that era.
Right.
What you're trying to say is that potentially the MCs did not come from that era.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm saying
definitely not.
What I'm saying is that it was a dope track and it was very nostalgic track and it was hard. Pause. And then
You just didn't like Buddy
I love
Buddy.
Buddy. I love Buddy.
yelling on
I
it.
wanted to know where that concept of him cutting off everyone's verse and saying "pass the smoke, yo, stop spitting bars."
The thing about Buddy is he's such a like...
It was like an inside joke or something.
Nah, it was just Buddy being Buddy. He's off the wall.
Shout out
energy.
to Buddy. Yo.
Yeah,
He
and
was a star.
yeah, Buddy and Guapdad are 2 of the people that, like, I've known Buddy since before he was Buddy, because he
Yeah.
was, running around Compton and LA. But he's just that energy he's gonna persuade you to do something without him having to really persuade you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're just gonna buy into it. Like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Like, let's try whatever Buddy wants to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And that product of that is 1993.
I would have been in the room like, don't listen to him. Like let him do that shit on the vocals, but like, turn that track
take it out in
off.
post.
Yeah.
Yo, Buddy has the most infectious energy.
For sure.
He comes to everyday people. I let him get on the mic, in the studio, whatever room he stepped in at the Revenge sessions. The energy just went up by 100.
He's an amazing live performer. I would say
Incredible.
the first time I saw him was at the Everyday People party, and I caught the beginning of Black is Black, Black on Black on Black, that joint. And the way he performed it and the energy he did, I was like, yo, this dude's going to go far, yo. Like, he's nasty. He sounds good. He almost sounds exactly like the record. I downloaded the record right after I saw that performance that day. He sounded exactly like it. Energy was high. He was interacting with the crowd. It was like bananas.
He looks like 19 years old.
Yeah. He's not.
Yeah,
Probably not. He
like
was signed to
22
Star
or
Trek. He was the last artist that Pharrell signed to Star Trek before
really?
the label folded. So he's been in the industry buzzing for a little bit.
Wow.
It's only in the past 2 years that people have, really started to hear about him.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would have liked to. I was curious about that in general because
That's him.
it just seemed like some crazy shit.
It's just, they're all young and they just create.
Yeah.
They're
I was literally
creatives.
like getting into each verse and then
it's
and he cut it. And I
I
was
mean,
like, okay.
I remember them playing that in the studio. I remember them playing it for No ID, and like the Milwaukee Bucks were there, like the team. I guess they were in town playing.
And they were just hanging out.
They were just hanging out. But I remember that song. They played that song, and like No ID was like loving the concept of it, and I think that was like the switch of like, okay, like we can put this out like this type of thing.
Interesting.
No Idea is the man who co-signs everything, right? So even when E was trying to get Boss signed to Dreamville / Interscope, they had to get it approved by No ID.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean it's a joint venture, right? So you could just have your own label, Dreamville, but it don't mean shit if you don't really have the distribution.
What is No ID's position in Rock Nation or whatever?
I think he's at Def Jam.
Yeah,
Def
I was
Jam.
about to say, yeah, he's at
He's at
Def
Def
Jam.
Jam.
Well, what's his position? What is he?
He's president of something.
President of something, yo. I
He was
we
an
can
A&R
Google
He's
it.
the
for a long
president
time.
of A&R.
Yeah, because he's the reason why like Janae Aiko was at Def Jam and so Logic as well. So he has a strong hand in
Shout out
that.
to Noah. Noah has a huge hand in like the Janae Logic.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I
No,
thought No ID
Preston.
was just an amazing producer.
Nah.
He's top executive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
insane.
and then I remember I saw a video when they were making Power Trip, and they said that the stamp of approval was No ID getting up and clapping to the song, that it was that great. That he gives you like a good nod, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, for sure.
But he got up and he clapped up, and he was like, "Yo, run this shit," and they got Miguel on the track and everything after that.
We were just talking about him. I always just remember him as like the really dope producer who did Resurrection
And
Comedy.
he's mad, and he's mad cool too. He's a dope dude.
I had no idea
You
about
just
him.
thought he was like still a studio rat,
Nah.
just
I
thought
cranking
he was
out
just, like, a
beats on the
genius.
MPC,
He's like, yeah,
on
like,
the SP1200.
on some like another level of like Salam Remy kind of shit, just
Well,
like
Salam Remy was president at Sony or something, right? Like
Yeah.
all of those dudes, he's no longer there, but all of those dudes came up
See, I didn't
to be
even know
top
that
executives.
Salam was- I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
No, yeah. So yeah, shouts to No ID. He's great. I sold Yeezys to him before, I was like, why don't you just call Kanye? But he's like, no, I'll just buy him. I was like, all right. It was funny.
So how did you link up with Boss and Dreamville and all that shit?
I was pretty much I was trying to be an A&R at some point. in my
Whoa.
life. Yeah. So that was one of my goals, to like be an A&R at a label and create records. So I used to work with this company named HS87, which was Hit Boy.
Yeah.
He had the Paris record going crazy. He was pretty much producing everything under the sun from like 2012 to
You're
like
talking about
20
Watch the Throne Paris.
Watch
right?
the Throne
Yeah.
Paris, yeah. So he was producing that, and then I was just so close to everything, and I was going into these sessions with like Beyonce and shit, and I wanted to contribute. I was DJing, but I wasn't doing clubs like that, and if I was opening up or something. So
Right.
I wanted to find something that would that I could contribute to, and get some type of salary with like benefits and shit. So that was that, and then I came across Boss on some blog, and I just played the video. It was Made Bail. So no, it was Lit. I'm sorry, Lit. They sound similar, but
I
Lit.
love that
It was
song.
Lit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
2014.
Yeah, it was lit. So I came across Lit. I saw the video, and I was like, yo, this is dope. And I followed him on Twitter, and it just so happened that he was going to be in town for the first ever Fiend Shop. And this was last winter when you were still DJing.
This is Boss has a whole crew called the Fiends.
Yeah.
And it was like a pop-up shop.
It's like a creative collective, and they have pop-up shops. But the pop-up shops you call Fiend Shops, and they are usually used to promote an album. So it was last winter, then he had two out of Riot, then Milky Way. But I caught him on the last winter wave, and so I just popped up, literally. Like I just came.
Pause.
The fucking button's so far away.
Yeah, why is it so far away?
Yo, Peter, can you pass me a button?
Nah, so I remember having like $50 in my pocket, like at that time.
Yeah.
Cause I was around hip, but I was like Audio Push and all that.
Did you buy the Fiends shirt?
I bought a Fiends. I spent 10 on gas, 10 on parking, and 30 on a Fiends.
Wait, how old
shirt.
were you at this time?
I was like 21.
Damn.
Yeah, I was 21.
You're in like the beginning stages of your career right now, kind of very early stages right now.
He wants to retire already.
I wouldn't say early because I was DJing clubs since I was 16.
No, you're still early though.
I mean,
you're gonna achieve greatness at like in your
No,
30s.
this is what
I'm
cricket
saying,
does.
I'm saying at that time,
No,
it
but
was
don't get defensive and shit. Like,
No, not at
This is
all.
what cricket does.
I have
you
a
haven't done
long.
shit.
Trust me, I have the longest way to go.
I know.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was just learning everything of the like politics and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
It's actually a compliment. I'm saying you're doing a lot right now, and you're still in a very early age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are dudes who are like
thank God,
10. There are dudes 10 years older than you that haven't accomplished as much as you have. And that's why I'm saying you're in your beginning stages, and there's still so much going on.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But don't get defensive.
No,
it's
not at all. Listen, not at all. Not at all. Trust me.
Yo, you know when he's fucking with you, right?
I know for a fact. Like, don't let the cameras fool
I
you.
don't want to hear stuff like, no, I was doing clubs at 16. Like,
No, I'm
you
saying-
ain't got to prove shit to me.
No, I know, but I'm saying by that time when I was 21, I was still early. Like, it was, I had 5 years in, like, doing the same shit over and over again.
So you have $50 in your pocket.
Yeah, I spent 10 on gas, 10 on parking, and 30 on a shirt. And then I was just like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just going to go. And I only knew the bartender there. That was like a go-go dancer part-time at a club. So I was like, I know somebody.
What was this? The last one to shop at?
It was on Melrose and Fairfax on that. It was like a sporty LA.
Would you
next
just
door.
get like the black shirt that said Fiends?
No, I got a white one that said Fiends on it.
Was I there?
Classic. You weren't there. It was who sold me my first shirt? Maddie sold me my first shirt.
Shout out to Maddie.
Maddie Peter Baller. So that's I got his number. I was like, yo, I want to link you with Hit. I want y'all to like create.
Wait, weren't you involved in that?
I designed. Yeah,
you designed the shirt.
Yeah, don't go there. Don't go there.
designed
Craig gets mad.
I designed the Fiend shirt.
He gets real mad. Don't go there.
I don't get mad about it.
Don't
Don't get
there.
defensive.
What is there to get
Cricket.
mad
Stop
about?
getting defensive, bro.
I'm not getting defensive. There's nothing to get mad about. No.
You had some real good designs, by the way. I'll give you that.
No, like I remember having a meeting with Boss, and they wanted to push the Super Mookin Fiends.
Right.
And they came up to me, and they wanted me to push this design. I was like talking to one of my co-designers at the time. I said, there's no marketing value for Super Mookin Fiends. We have to break it down to Fiends. Fiend sounds dope. And I started listening to his music, and he's like, he calls everyone Fiend. So I was like, let's push Fiends. And then he's like, he loves colors, so let's just change. Let's have every letter be a color.
Right.
So then when we did that, he's like, I'm not feeling that, man.
Wait, so you created the
shirt that you bought?
colored,
Yeah, the Fiend.
the classic colored Fiend.
He got rid of Super Mookin.
No,
and then
so
he added the color scheme.
Yeah, the black classic logo one we have, just the black Fiends one. You created that?
with the rainbow colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's dope.
So, but he hated it.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, let's make a couple shirts and let's make a couple hats. And they have I think he was opening for Cole in Vegas. And I said, let's just, we got to meet him anyway. So let's just give him a couple beanies and a couple hats. And I think we made a couple hoodies and shit. And then when we dropped it off, they were like, oh, cool. Like, yeah. And they saw it in person. They're like, oh, this is kind of dope.
Yeah.
They started wearing it. Everyone was like, yo, I need one. And then like a couple days later, they're like, all right, let's make some.
Yeah, because the white shirt I bought at that Fiend shop had the new logo on it.
Which is the new? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We made all that shit. Yeah.
So Thanks for reminding me. No, that's dope that you. I didn't know you made it. I thought that was like.
Oh
a
no, they
Derek play.
didn't. They actually hated it. They were like, we don't want fiends. We want Super Mookin. They loved that. What the Super Mookin design was actually taken from a soccer team, right?
Real Madrid. Don't say
Yeah,
that. Don't tell them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
no,
they
I've
know
seen
this
that shirt all around the world.
And not only have you seen it all around the world, Fendi eventually bit the whole style.
Fendi jocked the whole thing.
Fendi Jack Crooked's design.
Did you know that, Crook?
I mean, yeah, they showed it to me. But at that time, we had everybody kind of like copying new designs. We were
That's
kind of
crazy.
like the dogs that everyone stole from, but we weren't big enough for people to know.
They still do.
So they was like really easy to steal.
And
from
you
us.
weren't big enough to sue. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because like you can't go up against Fendi.
So
like,
a lot of people will come to us and be like, "Yo, you stole their design." I'm like, "No, they stole ours, but it's fine. Like it's cool." So we were just. That's what fashion, the whole fashion game is. But
So then
Anyway,
back to you.
so
You
yeah,
knew the
fuck
bartender. So you knew the bartender.
So yeah, I went up. I was like, "Yo, man, I want to link you with Hit. Like, what can we do?" So he gave me his number. Bosby and Boston, such a nice person, and we linked.
well, how do you know Hit Boy?
I used to DJ for a group called Audio Push. And
Oh,
remember
you.
them.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I DJ'd for Audio Push for
What is that?
years.
They were like a group in L.A.
Yeah, they were like
During the jerk movement.
The jerk movement.
Yeah.
And then
Yo.
they like that
Damn
was
it, button.
yeah, like
Very similar to like
Yeah,
Cali
We should
Swag
establish.
District.
yeah.
We should
Like-
establish that Nitrane is from LA. I
I'm
don't think we
from-
even said
I'm
that.
Oh, he's from Downey.
I'm definitely
a
not from
neighborhood
Downey.
in L.A.
Don't get I'm not from
What's
Downey.
Downey?
Where the
Remember
bigger
that time?
haters. He forgets everything.
forgets everything.
Yeah.
No, but the podcast people don't know that Downey is what the birthplace for all the haters in
Yeah,
LA.
that's where Nitrane came
I'm
from.
not from Downey.
Yeah.
I'm not from
Let's
Downey.
also establish that Nitrane is a candidate for the biggest 2019 hater of the year.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You said you were gonna dismantle all of that when I came
I am
on
going to
the
dismantle it.
So
But he is still a candidate for 2019 Hater of the Year. The reason why I say that that Nitrane is a candidate for 2019 Hater of the Year is because he is the good DJ. He is like one of the dope DJ. He's like that dope DJ who's like listening in on your set or hanging out while you DJing, thinking to himself, "Wow, I could really do this room way better than this guy." And that's Nitrane.
I'm with you. He's
that's
gonna tell nobody.
very true. I'm not gonna tell. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
But it's not. That's why it's not a bad thing for you to
No,
be the
not at
hater of the
all.
year because you're literally the dude in the DJ booth that's like, that's real good what you're doing, but just know that I at any time, at
I'll
any
show you how to
point,
do this, son.
I can get on and just totally make you cry.
But
and
I'm
make
sure.
you-
I'm sure there's a million other people that
Yeah.
could
That's
do it better than
that's
me.
every good
That's
DJ.
every yeah.
That's
But
every
no,
good. DJ.
But that's how good he is. That's
Yeah.
why I would put him on after me at Everyday People.
After you
After,
burned
I
the fuck
burned
out, yeah.
every single record. Like if you're not that good, I'm gonna have you play before me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the chance of you burning me, and then I'll figure it out.
Right, right.
But when somebody's really good, I'm like, yo, I don't even got to think about this shit. I let homie figure it out
Yeah.
on the fly.
Thank you.
That's
No, that means-
DJ Night Train.
That means a
DJ
lot
Night Train,
coming
ladies and
from
gentlemen.
Mo.
But it's also like, and it's also that young, confident, arrogant energy that you
Yeah.
only have at your age. Because when you get older, it either gets worse or you just humble out a little bit.
I only
Like
ha-
it-
I
you know
only
what I'm
have
saying?
that. I only have that
Yeah.
when I know I can do something. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like I know I can play a room and either get through it or
Yeah.
kill it. So
Right.
it's like I know I'm not gonna fail no matter what. So
Yeah.
it's not arrogance. It's just like I know.
No, it's not bad to be
No,
arrogant.
no,
though.
it's
I told
fine.
you not to be defensive on this podcast.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's like I.
No, but I'm
yeah.
telling you right now, it's either gonna be it's good to be arrogant at your age. It either levels out to experience and confidence, or it levels out to delusional
Right.
arrogance, even worse.
And I have so many examples of like arrogance and confidence going the wrong way that like
yeah.
I know what not to do.
No.
And I'm still learning what not
Yeah,
to do.
but
so.
that's why you 2019 Hater of the Year. You're a candidate. For that
Candidate,
shit.
run it up.
all right, man. Well,
You know
if
what?
I'm a
Actually,
candidate-
you know what? Actually, I had a conversation with Mo, and we were talking about you. And I said, "So I want to hear Nitrane. When is he back?" And he's like, "He's back in July." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna come out for the Everyday People and check him out." And he's like, I was like, "What's his style like? You know, how does he DJ?" He's like, "He's very similar to you, Crooked, but he's better." And then I was like,
Thank you, Mo.
Damn.
I was like,
Did you cry?
No, I was like, I don't know if I like the sound of that, but
That don't sound like something I would have said, though.
you said that.
I hope
and
so.
Then,
Yeah, he has bad memory, but he remember that, so it tells you a lot.
so that's when I was like, I gotta go check this motherfucker
You know, I
out.
probably said he's like a 2017 version of Crooked, and you just took that and
No, you said
interpreted
better.
that
No, I remember.
to mean better.
No,
Just
because
Mo,
I
Mo.
thought.
I'm better than him, Mo.
No. When you said better, I translated to like younger and like a better younger energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm old and washed, but I think this is like a newer version of. It's like, yo, like how's that new like Apple TV? Yo, it's like the old one but better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, Wi-Fi is quick as a motherfucker. Like the loading time is better. You know what I'm saying?
They lost the remote to yours.
Yeah,
like, it's a
yeah.
wrap. Yeah.
And you know, you're like smiling and you're happy. And when I'm DJing, I usually look like, you know, I'm having like.
Stroke.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
claim.
I don't know what my DJ face looks like, but you know,
I gotta like really pay attention and be like, don't forget to smile and
Yeah.
look like you're having fun at this
No,
event.
Nitrane
you know?
looks like really animated, like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
having the greatest time of his life.
I actually do have fun. Like
Yeah.
not because you're here, but I say this all the time. But Everyday People is one of the best parties I've ever played because I can go anywhere, and the crowd is so musically inclined that no matter what you play, it's gonna go. And if it doesn't go, you can quickly get out. But they're not gonna like be like, "What the fuck did you just play?"
Right,
Like,
right.
You know, they're
It's
understanding.
also good to play a party where you know no one's leaving.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like if
sure.
you're used to doing nightclubs and you're like, damn, this is the same circuit of people that's gonna hit up 3 or 4 parties tonight. You got to keep the dance floor rocking. The minute you
Yeah.
see the floor, you're like, you get shook. Like, oh
Right.
shit, I can see the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I
You-
played it in
you know-
LA, and I'm like nervous about it.
No
Or,
one's
like,
no one's going anywhere.
yeah,
so.
because you know, I know what they want to hear. So it's just one of those where it's like you have the trappers over there, you got the girls just Snapchatting their life away on this side, and
Yeah.
and like you play for this pretty much Instagram moments out here. Like that's all you really do
That's,
in LA, right?
in LA. Yeah, I mean just the hip hop circuit of it. You know, and
Can
it's
you
really,
explain that? I mean, we got to go back to your relationship with Hit Boy, but I want you to explain what are the Instagram moments and how do you play for Instagram moments? Because this is my assumption
Yeah.
of that.
Well, for one,
I got to play all the new hot songs that the girls want to lip sync to on their Insta stories.
Yeah.
right.
And even though the crowd might not be into it, I have to play this for the girls at the tables and the hot girls to sing.
Close.
It's kind of like that, right?
Close, but
Okay.
you know,
Break
it's-
it down.
It's more of a well, for one, it's really only probably like 5 DJs in LA that are rotated, maybe 6, and all these DJs are, you know, I want to say they're similar but different in the sense of they all have one's either very laid back, the other one's on the mic all the time, or but how you play to the Instagram moments is you have to make the spenders buy into your set. You have to make them want to spend money on the women that are there. And from there, the women are like, "Oh shit, bottles coming out, yada yada. Let me put my phone out because that's instinct. LA,
Right.
that's what you're gonna do." So from there, as you got to see bottles coming out, like you got to turn it into like a bottle show out here.
So you got to get on the mic
You got to you
Make
gotta,
it a big deal.
You got to make it a big. You got to make people feel very special.
so that the
Very
other table's
special.
like, I want that.
I want that. No, of course.
Yeah.
If I make this person spend $10,000,
Yeah.
this person's gonna spend 20.
Right.
Like, and that's just facts. And you got to do that musically. Like, I'll play like a Migos song, and it has to be like the Migos shit they're playing in their car. Like, oh shit, I played this in a whip. I told myself I was gonna buy bottles. When I hear this in the club, boom.
Right.
And you got to bring it back from the top so they can reset the Instagram moment, right?
Yes.
The Snapchat
Yes,
moment.
you
You
have
just got to
to
keep bringing it back.
It's not keep bringing it back. You have to know how to do that as well, because
Yeah.
motherfuckers are bringing it back at the most terrible spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Act Up, which is probably right now the most Instagrammable song.
Right.
You got to play straight from the top, like straight. You got to let that dum 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 go, you know. And that's the moment where let me get my phone out.
That's the get ready moment.
Yeah, and then realize yada yada that goes right, and then Big Birkin bag, hold 5-6 figures. I think it's Stripes on my something.
Mm-hmm.
And then find out Rich has
So
boom,
we get the
boom, boom.
boom. Yep.
Yeah, as soon as it switches off, you got to come back. Boom, boom, boom. And that, everybody has their phone out. Everybody's ready. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people are just playing it, boom, bringing it back. Like,
Does
it's a
LA,
science
but does
to it.
LA parties have a culture of bringing records back
For
like
sure,
that?
for sure. Especially like with trap records. Like, you know, Future says something crazy, you got to bring it back. You
But
gotta
that's
start from the
recently,
top.
right?
That started like probably like 2016, I want to say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But we've been bringing record backs.
Since New York.
But this, yeah, no, yeah, the New
It's
York,
simultaneous with more West Coast guys getting on the mic too. 'Cause
Exactly.
Before that, the dudes weren't really on the mic, so they weren't bringing records back and
Nah.
knew how to like recoup from that. You know what I mean?
This always goes full circle about how it all started back in New York. That's what I'm trying to say. That anything y'all are doing dope in the West Coast or Cali,
Yeah.
somehow kind of always came back from New
Yeah.
York.
But I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't.
But also, I'm gonna kind of
reggae,
like
reggae culture, though.
I know I'm kind of gonna balance out Crooked's anti-LA agenda.
I don't have an
Yo,
LA.
man.
I
By the
love-
way,
I love how much he bashes the West Coast, but he lives there.
Yeah, because I gotta say that I've been on this podcast several times, and we have this convo a lot.
Yeah.
We have to distinguish between LA and like Hollywood shit. Because there's a lot of people from LA that do
Yeah.
like dope parties, that are musically inclined, with like, you know, sick ass vibes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then there's this Hollywood shit that we're talking about
Yeah.
with the Instagrammable moments. You know,
yeah. The thing with me is like I can do.
See, I just put it all together.
that's why I'm here.
You're gonna stop bashing
That's why I'm
LA.
here.
It's
DJs. Me and D Miles gonna get on your ass.
You're like, no.
Listen.
This is mashed potatoes.
Like I'm not from LA, but yeah.
Mo was
You know?
like, yo, this is mashed potatoes, and this is tater tots, and this is French fries, and I'm like,
LA
yeah, but it's all
Well,
potatoes.
And I think the difference is that, you know, the Hollywood shit is a lot of transplants. It's a lot of people that's not from LA.
Yes,
Oh, for sure.
exactly.
You know, it's 95% people that's not from LA.
Yes,
No,
because
in the Midwest.
now you say where my out of towners at, and it's most of the club yelling you know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of transplants, like Mo says, and in New York,
Same
you guys,
thing, same thing.
There's transplants, but it's like,
But it's different.
It's
Like
different, yeah.
The transplants that come to New York, they have to adopt New York culture immediately. Like if they never listen to dance hall, they're like, oh shit, I got to start Shazamming this shit because I need to know what's up when they playing dance hall, when they playing soca, when they
Yeah.
playing old school shit. Because New York culture is so strong, it's so defined.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, LA culture is kind of like no one really knows what it is. It's like some laid back
LA
barbecue,
culture, yeah.
cruising type shit. You can't do that in the club. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was kind of a sneak diss on LA too.
nah, I
I
get it.
understand what Mo
You're
was
good,
saying.
Mama. You're good.
Yeah, I get
I'm good.
what Mo
I'm
said.
still
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Why are you
Yeah.
defending him and then you're like attacking
Hey,
me?
listen, Mama never treated me like shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to a New York party I like besides Everyday People, by the way. So.
Oh, you can't say that.
I'm fucking with you. No, it's a lot. No, like being around Mo and like Boss, like I would have probably been late to the Afrobeat wave. You know, like that being around them and seeing Mo play it, having Boss play
Yeah.
it all the time. It's like I had to go and research it, and then going to Africa and seeing how huge it is out there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Oh, we found
this is something that is gonna be huge in the States. Like
Right.
I'm hearing songs go crazy now out here that I heard in December out there.
So
Yeah.
it was really good for me to hear you play last night because, and this is not a diss, right? You played songs that I had been retired over like 18 months ago. And in the meanwhile, they kind of blew up. They became more pop.
Yeah.
Like I heard you play Malik Berry,
Oh, Control. Yeah.
and that shit went
it
off.
went crazy.
Right? And,
yeah.
and a lot of times when I'm playing my Afrobeat sets and like more crossover parties, I'm like, all right, what am I going to play that can follow up
Right.
Joanna and Fall?
Yeah.
And I'm out here like kind of struggling.
You're jaded. To
And
a
I'm
certain
like, I can
extent.
actually bring back a lot of those tunes from
Yes.
like late 2016,
For
early
sure.
2017.
Yeah.
And they would hit now. So, I mean, thank you for opening up my eyes.
It's kind of like what we were talking about briefly about, like, you know, the whole Cypher Sounds and Sean Paul.
Yeah.
When Sean Paul started blowing
God.
up, you could bring back old reggae, 90s reggae, because they
Right.
just kind of fit in
It
with the
shed
whole
light to
set.
those
Yeah.
songs.
And it's like people who maybe doesn't know Afro beats, they're getting tuned into all of that music now. because those are like the quote unquote classics.
There are, in fact,
Yeah.
some of the better songs ever made, right?
Yeah, and now they're you know, getting pushed a little bit more to the light. You know what I mean?
Right.
For a lot of these, you know, people who are new to Afro beats,
And they probably go to Spotify playlist and they see this song got like, 50 million listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the playlist like hardly ever changes. It's kind of like
See, that's the thing. It's like a
Yeah.
lot of people are discovering Afro beats now, and they're going to a Spotify playlist, and they're seeing the Malik Berry Control record up
Right.
there. They're seeing the Wizkid. What's the joint? I don't even know how to pronounce it. The one Drake got on.
Ojo
Yeah.
Elegba.
Yeah.
Ojo
So
Leg-
they're seeing
Legba.
that still up there with millions of plays. So they're like, "Oh, this is new. This is fresh."
Yo, when you
Yeah.
played Ojo Elegba and it went off, I was like, I need to bring it back at that same time.
Yeah.
Because I would have been playing it a lot later in the night.
Right.
And you played it like right at the peak of prime time. And it went off actually in LA a lot bigger than Burna Boy went off.
I
for me.
noticed
and I was
that.
kind of
I
like
noticed that.
confused.
Because all week I was very eager to see how that Ye record was going to do at an EP out here.
in LA.
And it was a little,
Yo, and I had set it up lovely because I played PSA, and when it goes, "This ain't a movie, dog," and then you got that little interlude between the second and the first
Yeah.
verse.
Yeah.
I just dropped from the top, and it was just kind of riding over
Yeah.
that eerie moment.
Let's explain, because a lot of our listeners probably don't know about that record, the Burna Boy
Boy.
record. That's I saw videos of like you playing in Toronto and in New York, and everybody singing this part that goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you can almost you literally take the beat out and everyone's singing yeah.
Crazy.
Man.
And but LA tends to be a little bit later, right? And on the response time for joints like that.
You know, it usually it would be maybe like 6 months to a year behind, but I just thought because of social media and because everybody is Snapchatting or like Instagramming that song, I would have thought that LA would have been more up on it,
Yeah.
But it kind of hit, but a solid like 7 or 8 out of 10. It didn't really.
I was
smash.
very surprised. I was like, why is this not going crazy?
And when you played Ojo Elegba, that was
went-
through the roof.
That went stupid. And I was very surprised because he went on and he's, I know Mo's going to play. It's his crowd. He knows what they want. So for me to see a record like the Ojo Legba or the Control Malik Berry record go crazy, it was very surprising. And it gave me like a little confidence, like, oh, okay, you could still play this and they'll love it.
Yeah.
So it
And
was
you
very
played
surprising.
Iskaba, and that went off too.
Iskaba went off. There's this other one, Panto Ranking or something.
Pato Ranking.
Panto
Got
Ranking.
a couple songs.
Yeah, that was a dope. Like,
Did you play I'm Available? Is that the one you played?
I'm not sure. I just have it labeled as Panto Ranking, but that was a record I've never played in my life.
I'm available.
Yeah,
I'm available. Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah,
That's dope.
that was dope. Yeah, and I had to find a way to play "On My Mind" by Georgia Smith
That
because
went
that
off.
always goes off.
That went
yeah.
off.
I noticed he didn't play it. One of the, that was
right.
the only one he probably did not play. Everything else was pretty much gone. But
The only time you didn't get
I didn't do like Dreams and Nightmares. I didn't do any of that. Like,
I honestly didn't think.
but I
it
didn't think
was
you wanted to play that.
Yeah, I did. Because to be honest, I feel like coming into like everyday people, or even like I don't want to be known as just the hip hop DJ.
I feel you.
I want to at least show my range to a certain extent, and yeah, I don't. That's
What's the bad stigma of being a hip hop DJ, quote unquote? To
she'll
you,
be stuck.
like
Well,
limited?
to me, yeah, I'm very limited. Like
you're boxed in.
They pigeonhole you into being a hip hop DJ.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
But limited with like what doing like radio or nightclubs or
both, yeah. Like, which is a huge reason why I don't do radio.
Right.
Which is I don't want to be put in a box of just playing a certain genre.
right.
Because I can play everything else.
So
And
could you have done radio? Let's say if I'm a hater,
for
listen on the internet. Like
I did radio. I did Shade 45, but that was I didn't have I didn't have boundaries. I could play curse words. I play
Right.
whatever I want.
you did like guest spots for LA Leakers on Sirius,
Yeah,
right?
I was a regular on it when I used to work with the Leakers, but I just got busy and I couldn't really keep up with doing a show every week. So then I helped on the Dre show or Apple Music. So
Oh shit!
So, yeah.
Beats
That's
one.
dope.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Beats one. Yeah, I helped Justin.
With
on
Justin?
that. Yeah,
So you did the Dre show on Beats?
I mean I didn't Yeah, I didn't do it, but I helped on it. I don't want to fully
Yeah, you were involved in it.
I was involved in it to a certain extent.
So, but at this
Signed
point,
an NDA and everything, but it was cool.
At this point, you kind of realized you didn't want to do radio, or it wasn't for you, or
No,
what
I was honestly just doing it to help a friend out. Like I wasn't I didn't want nothing out of it. I was doing it to help a friend out.
Right.
And then probably 2 months into it, I went on tour with Audio Push, and that's kind of how I just got away from it.
And then you went on tour with Audio Push,
2015,
and that's where you linked up with Hit Boy.
No, I've known Audio Push since 2009 when they were getting booked at Arena in Hollywood. Yeah. So,
oh shit,
yeah, that was my first gig ever, by the way, at Arena, and Mickey Ward was headlining. It was actually the night AM died.
Oh,
rest
wow.
in peace.
Rest in peace.
So that was my first gig ever.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I was bummed out. I studied AM, Jazzy, all of them. So to find that out at 7 o'clock and have to go DJ I was on at 9:30. The club opened at 10. I was just first gig ever. But yeah, I was bummed out, and it was just weird. It was weird. It just didn't feel the same. And then Mike had passed too, around that time. So
yeah.
So you brought up that you didn't want to be pigeonholed or labeled as a hip hop DJ.
Yeah, nah. Just because.
But I don't really think that's a bad thing in this era right now.
Not right now. No, it's not a bad thing
at
all.
I think 10 years ago it would have been bad
for sure. But I think
it's actually a good thing nowadays.
It's a great thing. It's a great. I've excelled so much just because when that whole EDM wave was coming 2010, 2012, the LMFAO, Crooker stuff was coming out.
Yeah.
I was still doing house parties at that time, and I was the hip hop DJ at all those house parties.
Right.
So I always stuck with it. So to see it come back now is, it's easy for me. I know what's been hot, what hasn't been. And, so that was pretty dope.
But you still think there's a bad stigma to be pigeonholed, or you're just saying for everyday people, you didn't want to be pigeonholed?
No, that's what everything. I can. Being a hip hop DJ, I mean, you guys are in Vegas, right? So you guys can tell me more than I know about what that stigma is in Vegas. If I would want to do Vegas, being a hip hop DJ, I'm sure now it's perfect. They want that. But,
right.
Who's to know 5 years down the line?
I think there's two differences in a hip hop DJ. There's either a hip hop DJ that does top 40 clubs.
Right.
And they call hip hop open format.
Right. So
because they don't want to call it hip hop.
I would say I'm that. I would say I'm an open format DJ.
Right.
I would say that. If I was to be labeled as something, it would be open format.
So in Vegas, I think I'm a hip hop DJ, but I'm an open format DJ because nightclubs don't want to be labeled a hip hop club in Vegas.
Right.
So if in Vegas I would call anyone a hip hop DJ, I'd call friends in a hip hop DJ.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
He represents hip hop in Las Vegas.
Right.
I'm too much of a whore, so I call myself an open format DJ.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's I feel like you get way more opportunities as an open format DJ. It's you can come do.
I think you get more opportunities being labeled a hip hop DJ now.
I mean, nowadays, I'm sure. Nowadays, but.
But what he's saying is that it's just the most current wave.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
once upon a time you didn't get opportunities as a hip hop DJ.
For
right?
sure.
You had to be an open format DJ.
Well, no,
also,
they
you don't
called
know
it mashup. So I was a mashup DJ. And then when the EDM wave came up, it was mashup's done. It's EDM.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were just kind of well, you guys.
What were you saying?
But there was.
No, I see what
format.
you're saying. 5 years from now, you don't know what's going to happen.
I don't.
It could go back to how it was before, where nobody want a hip hop DJ. They want more of an open format DJ that could play all types of music.
I don't think that's ever going to happen again.
I've never had this convo with friends, but I'm curious to know how he maintained when Vegas wasn't a hip hop.
No, but he maintained because there were still hip hop events and parties going on.
Right.
They just weren't on the strip.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then
He still had residencies.
he still was doing his thing.
But
You know?
Dre's wasn't open at the time.
Right.
When EDC took over Vegas. So he was doing street parties. EDM.
Yeah.
It was doing Vegas. So he was doing parties off the strip.
Okay.
And I think to Crooked's point, I think Vegas learned its lesson. I don't think it'll ever be that heavy in one genre ever again.
No.
Right. Okay.
Because while they were killing it, making millions upon millions of dollars and giving these huge 6-figure contracts.
Yeah.
It wasn't sustainable.
Does Omnia have a hip hop night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
You mean Omni?
But-
Oh, no, they have a hip
They have
hop
a
night in
hip-hop
the
room.
side room.
They have a
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
which would
And-
be the Ling Ling room.
No, that's
The
at
Ling
Hak-
Ling.
that's at Hakkasan.
Okay.
That's Hakkasan.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a Heart of Omnia.
Heart of
Yes.
Heart of Omnia.
Sorry, yeah.
I love those flyers, by the way. Like with the little heart and the
Yeah.
gray. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And those rooms
But-
go off.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Like I've never been to like Heart of Omnia.
Yeah.
But
dope
so I don't know what a hip hop DJ in Vegas,
Yeah, if you were to come
looks
to like Heart of Omnia on a Tuesday.
Like when I went to Vegas, I saw Never DJing. The only time I went to Vegas was because Cole was doing light, like the pool party.
Yeah.
Then you were doing
Daylight, yeah.
the nightclub
At Light,
that time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
Light. So that was my first time seeing a hip hop DJ, or not a hip hop DJ, a DJ playing hip hop in Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like I don't know what that looks like, and I don't want to just be the hip hop DJ, not out of fear, but I'd rather be open format and just have tons of opportunities, like be open to many opportunities
Right.
instead of just hip hop parties.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's my only thing with that.
Yeah, I just think I don't think there is that heavy of a stigma on hip hop right now. It's
Of course not.
I just think nightclubs don't want to be called a hip hop.
Right.
Like a
Light-
nightclub,
Light
but a
is
DJ
heavy.
can be called hip hop. Yeah.
Light is heavy hip hop with hip hop DJs. Like, what's the guy from Live? He does Live on Sundays.
Stevie
I
J.
see he has a residency there.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
like those DJs are hip hop
Yeah.
DJs.
Definitely.
And I get it. But at the same time, I want to be able to do a light and
Right.
still do a Hakkasan at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so
No, that's understandable because
Yeah.
we have friends that are Latin heavy DJs and they get stigmatized as being Latin DJs, but
Right.
they can
Yeah.
do all kinds of
yeah,
different rooms.
I grew
You know what
up
I mean?
playing family parties, reggaeton, salsa, cumbia, all that. Like I grew up playing that. Like I
Yeah.
can do that.
Stay in touch with that, man, because
Yeah.
I think the next wave in those big clubs is going to be that up tempo Latin music.
It's
the
crazy,
dembo,
yeah.
and it's going to take over because it's like a mix between familiar sounding shit and EDM.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You got that tune Pomposo or something like that.
Yeah, all
that
that.
shit is stupid. I play that record in
it's
any
crazy.
room, in any
And
room,
it'll go off.
It'll go off. And I
Yeah.
was just like,
He
yo.
played reggaeton last night as we were leaving. I was
I
like,
played reggae. Yeah, Mo was
Yeah.
like, he's like, I think the Devil Dead pocket could work, and I was like, you know what? Like, let me try it. Like,
I think we heard Baile. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
on our way out. Yeah.
yeah. So you know, like
Yeah.
that's
I
the
even-
thing with
I even
those.
told the fellas, I'm like, he's playing reggaeton in there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's credit to Mo who like sparked it in my head. I was like, you know what? Let me go for it. Like, let me just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. And thank God it worked. So
Mhm.
that's the thing about those parties is like people won't leave. Like they're there for the music.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely and what I love about Everyday People is that the LA version is very different from the New York version,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it will be very different from the Miami version,
Yep.
and it'll be different from the Toronto version. I'm sure the UK
Well-
version will be even,
Well, you know
That's
what?
what's dope about
This is my first going to my first Everyday People in LA. What's the difference between the LA and the New York version? Mo?
I just think New York is more like on top of everything that's not hip hop. So LA is up to speed on all the hip hop and R&B, but New York is so much more advanced in the other genres, everything from dance hall to Afrobeat, soca, even like house music.
Yeah.
So we can really go a lot deeper in that bag.
Oh, wow.
And it's maybe a bit more fun for me, but because LA is a newer party, the energy is higher in LA. The people are less jaded. They've only had Everyday People for a couple years, and you can just play, Usher.
You don't have to call.
You don't have to call, and the people lose their minds.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun for me.
You think it's a cultural thing as well? Like
of course,
maybe
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of '90s, 2000s hip hop parties popping up in LA. So,
But I mean, as far as like maybe there's more West Indian, African
Yeah.
people in there.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing. You have that mixed in with the Everyday People vibe. It's the perfect party because
No,
that's
but
what everyone
What
wants.
you mean is that New York is going to be always more culturally diverse,
Right.
and
Right.
there's
okay.
roots. There's roots with reggae.
Yes. Yes.
And so he could play more reggae.
Yeah.
You have a larger following of African crowds too.
For sure.
So he can play more Afrobeat. And then there's Afro house, right? That you
Afro
play.
house, the South African.
So there's
stuff,
another
yeah.
layer that's his other party that he has with Eli Escobar, which is Dance Dance Dance, where he plays dance music, disco, and Afro house.
Yeah.
So then there's now another layer. And the thing about LA is that what I wanted to point out is I actually think they're ahead with hip hop. I think they're more ahead with hip hop.
You have a point on that.
Yes.
I'm playing more new hip hop shit here.
Yes.
And it hits a lot harder than it does in New York.
New York is behind in hip hop.
Except for Welcome to the Party.
Welcome
Are they,
to the
are they
party.
up on that record in LA?
Not yet. It's
Welcome
a growing.
to the
I-
Party
I give it
is
about like
stupid
2
in New
weeks.
York.
Which
Welcome
record
to
is
the
this?
party.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. Yep.
Welcome to the Party.
It's crazy. in the
Biggest
East
record
Coast.
in New York.
Yeah.
Really?
It's gonna cross over.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna
But
cross.
back to your point.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Do you think is because of the cultural differences from the East Coast and the West Coast, or is it because that party in New York doesn't want to hear that specific hip hop, the new hip hop, at that party because it's so different from
Like
what you're used to?
Well, he can explain it, but New York has more of a melting pot of cultures. You've got Puerto Rican, Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got Jewish, Chinese, Korean, black. Like, but there's layers of different black. There's like international black people from Africa, UK. Then there's like the Caribbean black.
Yeah, West
and there's
Indian.
all types of like
African Americans.
Yeah,
from
African
Brooklyn,
Americans.
Queens, the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's different layers to it. So there's always going to be more of a culturally diverse music selection, and we've talked about this multiple times about New York and that those layers. Like when we were talking about how reggae was on the radio in New York, but maybe only Sean Paul was playing on LA radio.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm saying about the hip hop being played. You saying they're slower over there than here.
Because everything's coming from LA. All the new hip hop that's popping right now is coming from
LA and
majority
Atlanta.
of it.
All the
It's
hits.
mostly it's a lot of South shit too.
It
though.
is South, but a large majority of it. There's not a lot of New York shit coming out that's really affecting the whole country.
Yeah, like when we play in New York, like the biggest records have to be like classics, Shabba Ranks or Ferg Work, and then we'll sprinkle in a couple of new records, but it's mostly
So
the women.
my
It's
type by Sweetie wouldn't work in New York.
My Type is huge because the twerk music is
Or
universal
That's
right
just
now.
that's just a women
Yeah.
like women.
But that's
dance.
that's
a
a
hot
pop
girl
record.
summer.
That's like a pop record. That's like a
It's
pop
like a
record.
mainstream hip hop record. But
Yeah,
No, but like
the
for instance,
mainstream.
so I tell you what wouldn't hit as hard in New York is like Pure Water. You played Pure Water
Yeah,
last night.
that would not hit in New York.
Is that DJ Mustard and
That's
Quavo?
Mustard.
yeah,
Migos, yeah.
And Amigos.
That shit went off really hard in LA.
Yeah.
That would be a
even
filler.
Even 100 bands.
100 bands?
100
Yeah.
bands
100
went off
bands.
so hard I had
remember
never heard it. I
Yeah.
asked him like, "What the fuck is this?"
That wouldn't even be a consideration to play in New York. I would think.
Right. I wouldn't play that in New York.
Yeah,
like even going back to bringing back records, like when I go out of town and I don't play the same way I would in LA. Like I get accustomed to what they know and what they like, and I'll like input my style that way. Like I'll keep that core of like I'll go early, I'll listen to the DJs, and I'll try to insert my style like in small ways. And yeah, I wouldn't bring a record back though in like Toronto.
I would bring a record back anywhere. I'll be in fucking Kansas City. I'll bring that shit back.
No, there's
We're bringing it back, Kansas.
yeah, no.
Like Kansas City, pay attention. Pay
Nah.
attention.
I kind of feel what Nitrane's saying because there's like a certain level of arrogance with bringing a record back
For
that
sure.
you have to feel so comfortable with doing it.
I don't
And usually
give a
it's in your
you gotta be like,
backyard.
I don't give
Thank
a fuck.
you.
But if it's
No,
a
not
big,
that big of a deal.
if it's a
Thank you.
big record, then there shouldn't be a problem.
No way.
I feel you
no
on
way.
that.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It could be the biggest record of all time. They're gonna be like, stop fucking up the song.
I feel
Let
like
it go.
maybe I feel
Well, I
like
saw those faces yesterday when a few records were brought back. It's like, yo, why is he cutting off my like
Those are
part?
transplants.
Yeah,
But that was
So
always a New York
that's
thing,
when
though.
that's why you gotta say pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Learn something new. This is what we do
And
over
it's
here.
actually it's time management, you know. Like a lot of DJs will bring it back to
sure.
extend the set because you have to play for so long. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And a lot of these songs you got to cut out after like the first hook. But if you bring it back from the top, you're getting the first hook twice.
Yeah.
And then you can get out of it.
Like in LA, that doing a 2-hour hip hop set, like I will stop the music and talk to people
Yeah.
and like get involved with them.
What are you saying?
I mean, I like I've done it so like these are the same people that have been like not been going to the club.
Pretend like we're the crowd in LA. What would you tell us right now?
There's no way. I know this guy Brandon. Like Brandon he's the guy that has all the girls in the fucking booth. Like he's the guy, right? So I'll stop the music. I'll be like, yo, how you doing, Brandon? how's it going? Oh, you only brought 10 girls today? Like, it's a slow day? What's up? What we doing?
You do this while the crowd is there?
Respect it.
Throw me a lob. Like, there's no music going on. And I will have this conversation with you.
Really?
And everybody's just, you have to own it. Like, you have to, have a certain confidence.
Yeah.
There's no way that's going to work anywhere else. Like, I have to, or there's a girl sitting down. And
wait. I want to talk about you stopping the music and talking to Brandon. So this is like a skit? Like, what does he say?
No, it's
he'll
not a
just
skit.
I can't hear him. I don't know what the fuck he's telling me. Like, but I know he's smiling. Everybody's yelling.
So then I'm over here and I have a table and I'm looking at you talk to Brandon.
Yeah, and I see you looking at me. I'm gonna divert over there. I'm just gonna be like, "What's up? What we drinking over there? I need a bottle of whatever you got."
I get it.
So
that's those the Instagrammable. You're trying to get all the bottles involved.
Of course, and I'm on cue with the light man. The light man knows when to cut it off. Or whatever. If there's an artist in the building, then I know.
That's interesting. Like, I've never really.
It's a show like that. That comes for me. It comes from the touring and all that. Like,
I remember that in hip hop hood parties in New York, where they would have bottle wars, where it was one of those times like when they would have like a dealer. They would have I remember this one time. Oh man, there was this one NBA player, Stephon
Marbury.
I think it was him.
The franchise.
It was Stephon Marbury at Show on 41st Street.
Wow.
It was him on one side with his table, and it was like some drug dealer on another one.
Yeah.
And the drug dealer was trying to prove that he had more money than Stephon.
That's
kind of hard to
I love
for
that.
sure.
And he probably did.
He did. And Stephon came out with the biggest bottle, or I don't know, the biggest, hugest, whatever, Magnum that they had, pause. And then the drug dealer finally just took out two bands of 20s and just threw them in the crowd. And everyone stopped dancing and everyone was on the floor picking up the 20s.
That's gas money, man.
And he just looked at Stefan like, what?
Yeah, but who loves that?
Let me see you throw your credit card.
Yeah.
I can't. I'll knock somebody out with this black card.
Card on the.
But that's the only time. But the DJ didn't get involved at all.
No, I will get involved.
Yeah,
I will.
So you would have been instigating a shootout.
I will instigate it.
What you gonna do, Stephon?
What you gonna do next, man?
It never gets to the point it'll get into a shootout. But you know who loves that the most?
Who?
The owners or the general managers.
Yeah.
Because you're making them money.
That's interesting.
And you're back next month, maybe 2 weeks. That's really how it works. Which is why they rotate the same 5. With me, it became a thing where I was doing clubs whatever clubs, and I had to do a celebrity party constantly for me to get noticed by promoters and GMs that were going to those parties. They were like, "Yo, who the fuck is the kid? Why aren't you booking the top DJ in LA? Why is he doing it?" Kind of got to show him though.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Can I say that Nitrane took my gig as Boss's tour DJ?
Wow.
I didn't take it. I think it came at a point where
y'all knew I didn't want it.
Yeah, he didn't want it. I was at the last winter show. Mo was DJing. I was there as a fan.
Wasn't Boss's first DJ Ebe?
No, it's Mo.
Nah, it was me.
It was you?
Yeah, Cole's first DJ was
Cole's first DJ was Ebe. But he wasn't really DJing, right? Was he?
We call him DJ Press Play, right?
Yeah, DJ Press Play. And we have a duo, me and Ebe. We're called Management. Yeah.
What is that? What does that
We're
come
a DJ duo. I mean, it's management. I do a lot of the road management for Boss. I kind of wear many hats.
Yeah.
And I
remember in the beginning stages, everyone was helping to pack online orders.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, I did merch up until last year. I was packaging everybody's clothes up and sending it out. But
you was mad humble then. You wasn't the 2019 candidate for Hater of the Year.
Listen, I still am. I mean, everything's for the greater cause, man. I know if he doesn't win, none of us win. Really,
so then you linked up with Boss, right?
Yeah,
and then you just took his job.
No, but this is what really happened. I met Boss, and he was in LA because Cole was doing Forest Hills Drive album. He was recording it out here. So I was doing clubs. So Boss would always hit me "Yo, where you at? I'm here." And then it would be it'd be called Couture at the time, a small spot. And he'd be like, "All right, cool, we on the way." So what he doesn't know this, and he'll probably find out, but he would pull up with 20 people or like 15 people, whoever it was all dudes, you know, Hollywood, all
Right.
dudes.
Yeah.
So I told the promoter, I was like, yo, look, like, I'm not, like, I don't want you to, like, stop them, pat them down, whatever, just, like, let them walk it. And it used to be, and then I was like, he's like, how many is it? I was like, it's probably like 12 dudes. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I'll pay for it. Just let them in, and we'll take care of it after. So I was making probably like $150 a night. Yeah, a night. So
Now you're negative $70.
yeah, I'd be
Because every dude is $20.
I'd be coming out of pocket like. Now I wouldn't come out of pocket. They'd just be like, yo, it's cool. Like, you know, I'd just be like, yo,
It'd just be a wash.
Yeah, I would just like,
Yeah, call
you
it
know,
even.
Yeah, I would just be like, yo, just call it even.
And what were you trying to accomplish with that?
Nothing.
Just establish the relationship.
Not.
That
I
was
just
his boy.
Yeah, that was just like
It's a friend move.
That's a.
that was just like, you know, they're in town.
I would never do that.
I know you would.
I would do that.
Yeah, so I know you wouldn't, but I don't know. I was just
Never. I know you wouldn't. Do
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, that's been my thing. I just like, you know, like I don't like. I'm just, you know.
That's
just
why.
wanna have
That's
fun.
why. That's why we don't DJ for no rappers.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why we doing a podcast. I'm not touring the world. I haven't paid for it.
I had no ulterior motive. Like they were just in town. Like I didn't.
You were a
even-
fan too.
Yeah, I was just like taking care of them. Like I didn't even know there was a position as a DJ. Like for him, like I was just helping him out. Like, yo, you want to come out? Have fun.
I think Boss knew I didn't want to do it because I did the first tour for him last winter.
Yeah.
And I think I was still working in corporate, and I took like a week off from corporate.
So people don't know you're like a genius engineer.
You said in his episode.
Yeah, but they did. The new listeners don't know you're a
Go
genius.
back to Momo's episode.
Where he used to build hospitals and shit.
Like that, yeah.
Not only that, like you remember, you said that he'll come hang out with you in Vegas, and he'll be early as fuck on the couch approving like blueprints and all this shit.
Shit like that.
Like he'll be up early.
We would have been up till like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because the night before he would have been at my gig, then we would have been to Rhino.
Yeah.
And then we would have like gone to get something to eat.
Yeah.
So then he's like half drunk, half asleep on this conference call.
Yeah.
And then he's like muting it until they say his name.
Oh yeah.
And he'd be like,
classic conference
he's like,
call.
what's going on with breakfast? What's going on with breakfast? So I'll be making like a cheese omelet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, you want like a toast? He's like, yeah, toast. And then they'd be like, Mama, what do you think of that? He's like, yeah. Well, the complications with that are blah 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 blah. blah, blah.
I'm drunk.
And then he'd get his corporate voice on, and then he'd like mute it.
Code switching.
Yeah. And then he'd be like, yeah, you got orange juice? You got orange juice? And he'd be like eating this cheese omelet and shit and handling corporate, like building a new hospital in like, I don't know, Milwaukee or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, but anyway, to that end, I was still doing that, and I was touring with Boss because it was the first tour.
Yeah.
It was really, really important for me to be a part of it. They were rehearsing in my apartment in Manhattan. It was Boss and Ron Gilmore. And
Yo, shouts to Ron, bro. He's very talented dude.
Right, genius. Man got plaques. In my apartment, we set up my turntables, we set up Ron's keyboard, and we rehearsed that whole tour, the last winter tour in my apartment, and then we hit the road. And when we hit the road, it just occurred to me that I can't do this shit. Like getting in the van and driving from like Dallas to Houston.
Shit.
So I was just like, listen, I'm not getting any money out of this.
Yeah.
I'm flying. I'll meet you guys in Dallas.
Yeah.
I will meet you guys in Boston. And
you're too high maintenance.
I was too high maintenance for the tour life, and Boss knew that. So by the time he told me like, "Yo, Nitrane's gonna do my next tour," I was like, "Oh, I thought you'd never ask to fire me."
I remember I was with him. He's like, "Yo, you trying to do this run real quick?" I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I didn't think it was gonna be like 6 weeks, then fucking Europe, and like I had done.
What was your first tour?
It was the Audio Push the product tour.
No, with Boss.
Oh, with Boss. It was Too High to Riot. Yeah, Too High to Riot was the first one. Yeah.
That's a good tour, man.
It
was definitely like a step up from last winter.
For sure.
Last winter we was doing like 100, 200, 300 people at most.
Yeah, and then I think we did like 1,500 in New York and L.A. For the Too High to Riot.
Yeah, they had a pop-up shop on Fairfax.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fucking dope. It was packed out. Like a lot of fans packed out. And then I remember they wouldn't let. I think he was. I don't know if he was chilling outside, but it looked like they didn't want to let him in. Ron Gilmore was outside waiting to get inside the little pop up joint.
Yeah, no, that's Ron.
What are some of the skills you learned by doing a tour, being a tour DJ, that you wouldn't necessarily learn, like, you know, just doing clubs and shit? I feel like engaging with the audience and being on the mic are one of the few things that you kind of have to do more on tour.
Not
really talk to them. No,
not really. Not with Boss, at least. Like if like we gotta like beat the case, how we call it. I'll go out there and do like a 5-10 minute Dreamville set. Right. Just to kind of get them ready.
But you're not like, yo, what's good? How you doing?
When it comes to tours, we have a set show, and we're going to give the people what they want and perform the albums front to back.
But I'm saying when you're coming out to warm up for Boss, are you engaging with them?
For sure. I'm like, with the DJ shit, I'm engaging with them.
But you're not talking, like, you know?
Yeah, I'll talk to them. I'll say something like, what up? You know, it's Dreamville, yada, yada. The whole spiel. The whole Dreamville spiel.
But I think what he's saying is that once the show starts, there's less onus on him to engage with the crowd. Like, you got other artists, like if you ever seen like Future or some of these like really big hip hop artists, their DJs do all the hype.
Yeah, it's not about me. Like, when it comes to his stuff, it's not about me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm there for him, and I'm there. I'm his music director, which means like I'm setting up the show. Right. We're doing this, and this. Mm-hmm. And that's that. It's about him. Like, it's tailored for him to shine. Got it. I'm playing the background. I'm throwing up cues to the front of house guy, the monitor guy, light guy, our keyboardist. So I'm calling the plays from behind.
But more so, I think what Crooked meant, like, do you feel like you have to keep the crowd engaged before he goes on?
No, not at all. They're not there for me.
But you don't even always have a DJ set before the show.
No,
you mostly rare. Don't.
It's rare if I
have opening acts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Really? Yeah, there's opening acts. Okay. And I'm doing those like on tour. Like that's where I'll engage with the crowd because they're gonna see me the most before the show.
Right.
Which I'll do every act up until I'll do the whole show pretty much, and Boss as well.
Cause you know DJ Spider, right?
Yeah.
DJ
Spider. I met him at Hyde, by the way.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Oh, for real?
For the first time ever.
So like Spider went on tour with Blink 182.
Right? Oh, I saw that.
Which isn't like typical. But what he said, what he learned by being on tour with Blink 182 was really engaging with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like he had to talk to them.
That's
like,
the thing.
Because it's I mean he's doing arenas too, like huge arenas. So like he can't just DJ. He has to talk with the crowd. It's almost like what we were speaking with the big band and Cypher Sounds. There's a lot of pressure when you're doing these big arenas.
There's a lot of pressure.
And you're talking. You have to engage with the crowd
for sure.
And it's more mic heavy than music. You know what I mean? So I was wondering if that's what you had to go through.
I actually did one. I failed because one of the opening acts had missed his flight. This was a Cole show in Virginia, a college show. Mm-hmm. So they threw me out there for an hour to fill up that spot. And these these are people waiting to see Cole.
So you can imagine no Cole.
No, of course not. I can't play no Cole, whatever.
So like you're kind of shut.
So they threw me out to the wolves, like like we got to fill this hour, and I'm so fuck it, I'm gonna go do it. But it did not matter what I played; it was not gonna go.
Yeah, but
because they're just
so that just happened to me.
Yeah, that did happen to you
at Brooklyn Mirage. Yeah,
before Cole for an hour.
Yeah.
Going after DJ Clue, shout out to the legendary Cluminati, who ran all the big tunes. I mean, he even ran like the reggaeton, and he just played all these massive tunes. And then I had to get on from 8 to 9 and do an hour.
Before Cole.
So I did that whole... I brought a different energy because I started like shouting out Dreamville and all the Dream villains. If I say Dream, y'all say Ville.
Yeah.
I was able to do that for like 15 to 20 minutes without playing any Cole. And then I had to just like really dig deep in my bag to just make people sing along. I was playing Poison. I was playing whatever I had to. I was playing Be Faithful.
That's how
I wasn't trying to be musical at all, right? And then Ebe saved me. Ebe pulled up and was like, I don't want people to think that Cole is just hosting. So we're going to bring Cole up to the balcony and you can start talking to him and be like, yo, Cole, how you feel about doing a few songs later? I was like, please do that, right?
That works.
And then I was like, yo, I heard J. Cole is in the building.
Yeah.
And everybody looked up to the balcony, and literally 7,000 people rotated like synchronized swimmers, right? With their phones up.
Yeah.
And they're like, we want Cole. We want Cole. And I'm thinking, all right, how do I follow this up without playing the Dreamville record?
Right.
And I forgot. I just said, when I say Dream, y'all say Ville. And I played Kendrick, All Right.
All Right, yeah, I saw
which
that.
is like kind of like, you know, an affiliate of Dreamville and all of them. And
Right.
crowd went crazy. And then after that, I did a Kanye set that started off with Father Stretch My Hands and went into like the older Kanye, which I know Cole was a huge fan of.
Yeah.
So he's on the balcony rapping along to All Falls Down, like just mouthing the words, and the crowd is like rapping with him. And I'm like, all right, I just bought myself like 10 minutes of this. And then we went into like swag surfing, and I was able to close it out. But
That's
it's
great.
really intense to prep a crowd without playing the artist's music.
They threw me out to the wolves at Light one time he did it. I think
we
E-Rock was
want
there.
Cole. And they start booing sometimes. They're like, boo.
That was actually my first time ever playing Vegas, period. I had no idea what the fuck to do. So I'm going out there playing energy shit, but they're all just standing there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, let me fucking figure this shit out.
That's when you got to interact with them.
That's where you got to interact.
Yeah.
That's what, like, he said, the whole Dreamville spiel. Like, yeah, it's Dreamville, yada, yada. But, like, I went out there and I was like, damn, like, I got to get my shit together, or at least got to figure it out, because I know it's not going to be the first or last time. I mean, the last time I do this. So that kind of helped me, you know, interact with the crowd and like just understand what they're there for.
Right.
And not give them that, but like gear them up for it.
Because Spider would say that everyone, like when he did the Blink 182 thing, he said everyone was there for Blink 182.
Right.
So even when he tried to play music that he thought was like, he would like, well, let me do like a remix of this that they know.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to hear any EDM remixes.
No
so
way.
he started slowly realizing, he's like, oh, Papa Roach kind of works with a Blink 182 crowd. He started thinking like, oh, you know, I can play this and I can play that.
Yeah.
I can play some, you know, some 41 or whatever like that. I can start playing all these other bands. And then he started taking that negative energy of them standing, waiting for Blink 182 with their arms crossed, and started being like, y'all not ready for Blink 182.
Yeah.
You guys just are, you just want to stand there and hate on me all night. And then they would laugh. And then he would drop something else. But he was like, it was about turning that negative energy.
Of course, that's what
making
it's
them laugh.
for.
And then like, y'all on the front, y'all trying to hate. Y'all waiting for Cole, huh? Y'all waiting for Cole? All right, man, I got you.
Yeah.
You want me to drop some
Yeah,
shit?
you
know?
gotta-
Yeah, you got to do that left side
'Cause
versus
you-
the
Yeah.
right
You
side
have to-
versus the middle.
Yeah.
To get everybody hype, and then
Yeah.
you play Be Faithful.
They're
It's
standing
a
there
totally
for
different
hours.
animal, yeah.
They're standing there for hours they're lined up before the spot opens.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're gonna rush to the front and they're gonna stand there. And the longer it goes, the worse it's gonna go for
Right.
you.
It's
Period.
exactly like when you guys open up for an artist, and those first 2 rows is just people looking at you weird the whole time.
Yeah.
You just got to get on the mic and really just like kind of just be like, yo, y'all are y'all ready? Like y'all paying? Y'all know YG's in the building?
Shout the name out exactly.
Yeah.
Is that late in the building? And then you got caught. You have to talk to Brandon too. You got to find your Brandon in the crowd.
But you have
I'm not trying to talk to any Brandon in Las
Talk about
Vegas.
it. Yo,
Like,
Brandon, are we
listen,
today?
listen, but I mean, like going back to the Brandon, like Brandon, everybody knows Brandon in that building.
Yeah.
So it's like it's easy.
There's
You
no
know,
there's no
that's-
Brandon in Vegas like that.
Exactly, and that would not work.
Yeah.
So, which is, I will not play the same way I do out of town like I do in LA.
Oh, no,
It's
no, for sure.
impossible.
Yeah.
and you just gotta have tough skin, man.
Unless
Yeah,
you bring
for
Brandon
sure.
with you every time.
Yeah, Brandon's a prop.
Nah, man, no
You
shot.
get 10 girls.
No.
You're the prop.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like what I want to do is go into the playing festivals. Like I do play festivals now, but it's not about me.
Right.
And if I do it, I'm doing a warm up set, and it's not stuff I would play. You know, so like you have to go through this to know if you want to play festivals, you got to know front to back what goes into them. What do the people want?
Yeah, that helped me a lot because when I was doing that first year with Boss and we were doing last winter, he had booked a couple of festivals. He had booked what's the one in Montreal?
Osheaga. We got that coming up.
He had booked Osheaga.
Yeah.
He had booked Quebec City. He had a whole Canada tour,
Yeah.
something out in British Columbia. And I was like really my first time like rocking to 10,000 people who hardly knew who the artist was.
Yeah.
And that's when we came up with that old school set.
Yo, by the way, I'm gonna say this. We have this thing called the moment set. If you see me out there and we do the moment set, you know why? I'm not up there DJing. I pressed play on them. I had to tailor it a little bit because it dragged a little bit, but I tailored it now, and it's just hit.
It's some shit I used to do live. It was like maybe like Hip Hop Hooray, into like Rough Riders Anthem, into Old Dirty Bastard, into Onyx Slam. I was just doing it live, and then
it sounds like a summer jam set.
It is. It really is. And we play that at festivals. Like that's at every of our festival sets because it's like the break point in. Okay, we did.
So is it pre-mixed?
It's pre-mixed.
Now it's pre-mixed because I sent it to him. I threw it in Ableton.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him, and I think you touched it up, and he made it like a bit smoother.
So are you on the mic just talking shit?
I'm on a mic, but I'm also scratching. Like I do like a scratch point, like a set, a small, just so it doesn't look like I'm just up there fucking
just standing there.
Like David Guetta.
Oh, so you're doing like an EDM DJ
set. Yeah. Wait, it's MoMA.
No, literally. it's called the MoMA.
Nitrane is fucking up the whole game right now with his pre-mix set.
Yeah, man.
And he's pretending to he's scratching to make it seem like he's still DJing.
I felt terrible.
Industry secret.
I felt terrible.
No, I think you should embrace it more and don't even stand behind the DJ booth. Just walk to the front of the fucking stage.
We can't do that. No. Like it's just not like our dynamic. You know, it's just not something.
Because like Boss is still there.
Yeah, he's turning it up.
It's during Boss's set. We used to break up Boss's set with like a little old school. Like, we're from New York City. We're gonna do some New York City hip hop shit.
You know, it'd be more interesting if you're like, you know what, Boss? Why don't you come back here and play some shit, and then you come in the front and just amp them up.
We did a tour in London. It was in Europe, and it was just him and I, 1 month. Festival tour.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a set show. We didn't have a keyboardist to buy time and transition or like we didn't have none of that. So we would wing it every night. Like for the first week.
It's called hip hop, my friend. Yeah. DJ and a rapper.
But he would come back, he'd be like, "Yo, what do you want to play?" He'd point at my laptop, he'd like, all right, let's do this. And the crowd was like, it was so organic and winged that like but back to the moment set.
Back to the preset.
He made it. God. He made it. I touched it up. I touched it up.
So it's a collaboration.
And I mean, it will forever be the moment set. And
it still goes.
It still goes.
How long?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you say. That shit still goes.
How long is it set?
It's probably like
3 minutes.
Like a minute and a half, 2.
Just like 3
You
minutes.
can't DJ it live, like
He probably could.
I could but I just rather not. It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Welcome.
It's got the sound of the police, right?
Sound of the police.
Whoop. That's the sound of the police.
And then it goes
into Rough Riders anthem. Yeah.
And then that's when everybody buys into it.
And this is when you're texting, or what are you doing during?
No, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm still like,
Are you like finishing a roast beef sandwich underneath the DJ booth?
I still have to transition into like what's next.
Okay.
That's tough, right?
Tough.
And then I'll do like a fake scratch.
We can't shit on any EDM DJs with the preset.
Those days are over. Days are over.
Damn it.
I'm doing this shit with hip hop now.
Let the cat out the bag, man.
Listen,
that was the industry secret that got out.
That is the equivalent of playing a Crooklyn Dodgers break. Not Crooklyn Dodgers, a Crooklyn Clan. A Crooklyn Clan.
Do you even have the needle on the record or the CDJ playing?
I use CDJ.
Internal mode.
Just because it's hip hop and people jump around and you can't risk a needle skipping. You saw what happened to I forgot his name. Biggie's DJ at that time. I forgot his name.
On the MTV.
Big Cap. He threw a water bottle at him. I don't need that. But that's
Is this a good time to talk about the DJ phase?
Oh yeah, the phases. Well, you've been using that. Right?
I've been using them. Yeah,
I love it.
But it's hit or miss because yesterday, Everyday People, one of them wasn't working.
One of them wasn't working because I unplugged my laptop after my first set to set up somebody else.
Yeah.
And when I hooked it back up, maybe I had close Serato, something happened. But usually, by and large, when I'm rocking by myself, from beginning to close, it's smooth.
Love it.
Yeah. But they do have a few glitches. We talked about one deck being faster than the other with the pitch.
Yeah.
And then we don't know why it reads as a red signal on your Serato bar.
Right.
But I do have some very reliable intel that they're working on all of that because they're actually working with Serato directly. So that's the crazy thing about the Phase is that they developed that shit by themselves without having any of the back end software or information from Serato. They literally just built that shit by themselves. And now they're talking to Serato, and Serato's opening up the entire back end.
Right.
And they're fixing everything. And they're all going to do it through firmware updates.
Oh, dope.
That's when I'm gonna buy Phase.
That's what you should.
Because we heard about that like about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
We heard about a month ago that they were working with Serato. So we had
Peter, you know about this, yeah?
Shout to
Peter's been updating us on Facebook like every week about this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
shout out to Sonny and Cut Corners. Love those.
Oh yeah,
guys.
we're gonna meet with them
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Love those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to brag and say who gave me that info, but it's very reliable. I'm not even going to be that guy.
Okay.
Damn.
But after the fact.
All right. Cool. Good to know. Wait, I wanted to talk to you about another thing about being a tour DJ.
Yeah.
And how does it affect your local gigs being away for that long? Because it's like almost like if you have residencies, could you have been replaced during that 6 weeks or 2 months that you've been gone? You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not even a constant DJ in LA. Like, I don't get booked every weekend at all. Like, I have to spend, if I go on tour for a while, I have to spend a month coming out.
You're taking a potential L.
face.
You're taking a potential L for your local city.
I'm taking an L regardless.
Yeah.
And as far as my personal career, like my professional career, like I'm taking an L. But, you know, it's for the greater good at the end of the day.
Because there's going to be other opportunities that present themselves.
Right.
Like you're putting together an album. Can we talk about that?
Just a tiny bit.
Wait. You're putting together an album?
Yeah, I'm putting together an album a la Khaled, but a lot better.
You're going to be the new Khaled?
Where's my fucking gunshot? Damn, it's a shot.
It's on the hype button.
He just said he's going to be the new Khaled.
He said he's
going to be
better than
Khaled.
Better than Khaled.
He said better than Khaled?
Better than Khaled.
Yeah, I want to still.
Wait.
I want to still be able to.
Wait, did he just say he's not arrogant?
No, he is.
No, you're asking me. You're asking me what it's gonna be like, and I'm telling you
better
what it's
than
gonna
Khaled.
be like. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to a certain extent, I don't have all I do is win.
It's gonna be better than brown paper bag. Come on, man.
But you meant, what did he say last episode?
Brown paper boy.
Brown paper boy.
Yeah.
Brown paper boy. Because I was missing it with a
duffel bag boy.
Duffel bag boy.
Just, I had it.
So I said paper bag boy.
So you're working an album.
I'm working on an album. I just figured that I've over the years, especially living in LA, this is like entertainment capital of the world. And I've built so many relationships with artists, and I've done so much.
You're paying
for
a lot of
artists.
entry fees.
About
I don't
$200 worth of shit.
I don't know if I want to have a boss on it.
Yo, hit up Nitrane, man.
I feel
He
like
got your admission. Yo, hit up Nitrane. He got the admission on lock.
he'll take one for the team, bro.
Yo, listen.
You and your crew.
You and 12 of your friends can come hang out with Nitrane for free.
Yeah, no, that's always gonna be it.
That's part of his rider now.
If you're my friend, you're more than welcome.
It's Nitrane plus 15.
He's like, yo, my rate right now is $750 plus 20 male admission.
It's Nitrane plus 20 males.
20 male admission. Shit, all right, man.
At least 20 people will be here.
Yeah,
He called up all the goons, yo. I got 20 males. I got 20 males allowed.
He's in a group chat where all the goons are like, yo, call dibs. The last 20.
You want to know how I got my first couple gigs in Hollywood? I would sell tickets to the club.
Yeah, that was everybody.
You know, and I would make $3 off every ticket.
Yep.
Well, that's
but I would give some of the tickets away, so the profit I was making, I was really paying off the other tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, you know, I'd be on at 9:30, like I said, the club open at
crazy.
10.
Yeah, we had to do that shit.
So I would do that. You give me 50 tickets, and sometimes I would front the money for all 50, so it looked like I sold them all.
Really?
It didn't matter if the people didn't show up. They wanted to see the tickets sold.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jamie, you didn't do that, right?
I did that. I'm not saying what DJ made me do that, but I did that. And then I sold him some shoes, and he's like, I was like, yo, you still owe me 200. He goes, yeah, but you owe me 200 in tickets. I was like, all right, I guess we call it even.
Oh, fuck. Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't.
It was one of those things.
So do you think like a trust fund kid could get over like that and just buy 200 tickets.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Be like, yo, let me get
The
200
pre-sale tickets.
advance.
How much were you selling pre-sale tickets? I was at 10.
I was at 15.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 for the pre-sales, and then
10 for the pre-sales.
after like a certain week, it would be $15.
So you would have to sell these tickets in order to just DJ.
in order for me to have
Yeah.
a 30-minute set.
And before, like, it was like a 10 o'clock set.
Are
was-
they still
yeah.
doing this?
I hope
I
not.
did that 4 years ago.
Oh my God, I did this in 09.
Moma, you got to change the DJ lineup.
And so this isn't. It means
You
like
want to DJ everyday people? You got to
Yeah,
sell
sell tickets.
20 pre-sale tickets.
Yo, fucking DJ pyramid scheme. yo.
Yeah, it's fucking Ponzi scheme.
Yo, it's a cold world, man. LA
I
is
was
cold,
doing
yo.
it. Yeah, I was
and
doing
then
it.
it was you, and then you're battling up against 20 other DJs doing the same
Yeah,
shit.
at that time, I had 4 other DJ homies that were DJing, and you know, I was on at 9:30. He was on at 10. The other one was on at 10:30. And
Was your set time arranged by who sold the most tickets?
Yes.
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that was part of the
Probably.
Be like,
probably.
I'm headlining tonight.
shit. No, you never
No,
headline.
never
You never
headline.
headline.
All the ticket DJs were done by 11.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
wow.
Yeah,
damn,
for
that's
sure.
crazy.
And
Yo,
you-
my mind is fucking blown right
Yeah.
now.
You got to change the way you do everyday
This is
people
crazy.
lineup. Bro. You got to change the way
Yo,
you do
my
the lineup.
pockets is about to get fat.
Yeah.
I don't know where that money was going, but you
It's
know,
going to the DJ's pocket.
Yeah, to
shit,
the main
probably.
DJ.
And then the main DJ was saying, I'm bringing all
It
of
was a
these
promoter.
people.
It was a
Yeah.
promoter.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it a promoter?
Shout out Marvin.
Well,
Yeah, so it was Marvin.
Wow.
Oh, I remember Marvin.
You remember Marvin? He was doing arena at that time, and then
Yeah.
I only did it for a couple weeks. Then I met Vico. Vico gave me a
Shouts to
shot.
Vico.
Yeah, Vico gave me a
OG.
shot. Yeah, I wouldn't be like DJing in Hollywood if it wasn't for Vico, because I was doing Empire. Empire was open at the time. A lot of these college parties.
Yeah. 18 and over clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then from
College
there,
nights on Thursdays.
yeah, from there I linked with like this team called Brotherhood. Shout out to Don and Ray. Like they were throwing events, like club
Oh, yeah.
events, and
They
I
were
would
running
just
shit for
open
about
up.
a minute,
Yeah.
So I have a question. I know you go on tour and sometimes you lose some residencies or you lose certain opportunities here in your
Mhm.
city, right? But I mean, do you think you know as many people or have such a wide range of
No,
like, because you
not
you
at all.
travel the world, right?
Yeah.
So you're like more open and receptive to like more world music and
Yeah.
knowing what's going on outside, right?
Right. Exactly.
And is that kind of? Do you think that's better than having local
That's
residencies
way
a
better.
little bit?
That's
yeah?
way better because I don't want to be locked in LA. And not no shot to anybody, but I see like I said, the
It's
same,
a big world out there.
same
yeah.
5 rotating DJs doing LA clubs, and you know
Yeah.
I'll slide in here and there.
Pause. Yeah.
Pause. yeah, and
But that's been for a hot minute. It's been for like 3
Yeah,
or 4 years
and,
that all the same 5
you
are
know,
being rotated.
but and these are great guys, and they know the LA scene. Just but that's my advantage where I can do a LA party and at the same time travel to Europe and do a European
You could
party.
do.
so.
You did like a Khloe Kardashian's birthday, right?
Courtney, yeah,
Kourtney
Courtney's
Kardashian.
birthday,
Yeah, sorry.
Courtney's
First
birthday.
of
Yeah,
all-
how'd you get that gig?
Hold on, we all thought that was Photoshop.
That shit looked like a Photoshop
That shit was
flex.
Photoshop. And Cricket was like, "Yo, you think it's Photoshop?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yo,
His
hold on.
reflections on the floor, on that mirror.
You
on that
had
mirror walkway.
Courtney next to you and Chloe sitting on your lap, or
No,
vice
I
versa.
had, Paris Hilton on on my right. I want to say, yeah, Paris
That's
Hilton.
gonna be the cover for this
Paris
this
Hilton
episode, by the
on
way.
right, and then Courtney on the left.
That shit look Photoshop. Yeah.
I've known them for a while. Like I'm from the
From
valley.
where?
I was born and raised in the valley, like San Fernando Valley, Northridge, Woodland
What is the
Hills.
valley?
It's over the hill of Hollywood. Yeah.
Why would they have you over there? How do you know these motherfuckers?
I've done. I did Kylie's like high school homecoming. Kylie and Kendall, and that all came from me DJing for Jamie Foxx for a couple of years.
So Jamie Foxx kind of like discovered you.
He didn't discover me, but that was like the first fucking party. That was the first like big celebrity party I did, and then
But
Just a random party? Was it like a 5
it
party?
was random. My guy Mike Jones hit me, and he's like, "Yo, are you free?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yo, I need you to come DJ." I was like, "All right, cool." I think he was his barber at the time.
I was thinking about Mike Jones,
Mike
334
Jones.
Nah.
8004.
I always get that. Yeah.
Was this the BET party? After party?
It was the week before the one with Drake.
Yeah.
It was the week before.
Oh, okay.
So it was the week before that party. And it was just, I think it was something for his daughter that turned into like a party, like some last minute shit. And then,
So Mike Jones, the barber, hit you
Mike
up.
Jones. He's a DJ now. DJ
He's a
Young
DJ.
Jones. Yeah. Shout out to him. He just travels and does like.
Wait, too.
Cool
We
stuff.
was talking about promoters turning into DJs. We got barbers turning into DJs.
Oh man, I know so many barbers. Actually, one of my best friends, Jesse, who I was with when I got that call, me and him used to DJ like all the time, like house parties and stuff. He turned into a barber. He actually owns a barbershop in Las
We had
Vegas.
DJs who turn into barbers.
Wow.
It's off the strip by the college.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, no, he called me to do the Fox party that week, and then the next weekend, I guess I did all right for that first one. I was nervous as fuck. They called me back for the BET, the Drake one.
Jamie Foxx called you.
No, Mike called me.
Mike
he's
Jones.
like, yo, let's run it back. I'm like, all
Yo,
right.
who is this barber that's like hooking you up with A-list Hollywood shit?
Mike, he's a master. Like he got a mouth on him. Pause.
Hey.
I paused.
Goddamn button is far away.
Yo, he'll just spark a conversation with anybody. Like,
Holy shit! Wait, I gotta get my bearings.
Yo, I'm in LA. I need an LA barber who
I
could
got
potentially
you.
be like a superstar agent. And this sounds like
No.
your man.
nah, he was just like, because he had heard me. He was friends with Vico, who I mentioned, and then
So Mike Jones discovered you.
he didn't discover me either. Like it was just like, like yo, you're available.
Okay, he tapped you into this
He,
market.
he tapped me into Jamie for sure. He gets the credit
to
for
Jamie
that.
Foxx, yeah.
To Jamie, yeah.
Semi-pause.
So he discovered.
That's a semi-pause.
So I'm saying he discovered you.
Pulse worthy.
He brought you into the celebrity world.
He brought me into this. That's where it started.
Because there's no way your dirty fingernail ass would have been near the
That's pretty clean hands. I'm just saying. Pause.
I was fucking doing club nights with Marcus Houston in Alhambra, like, you know.
What songs was he performing?
Up in the club,
Clubbing?
up in the club, to see some love. We be clubbing. Wasn't Joe Buttons on the remix?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was.
I haven't
I'm clubbing.
heard that
And I think
song
R. Kelly's
before.
on there too.
I don't
I feel like Crooked, you had that on vinyl.
I did have it on vinyl.
Yeah.
I think it was on an R&B mix
And
I
you
made.
probably had doubles of it.
I did, and I did bring it back.
You brought it back?
I remember I used to hear Crooked made like 2004 bring back that. What was that New Edition record that came out back then?
Hot Tonight. I love Hot Tonight.
I just remember hearing this.
that's one of my
motherfucker
favorite
bringing
songs.
it back from the top.
Yeah, I love
On
Hot
vinyl.
Tonight. Yep. You had it on vinyl?
You're bringing back Hot Tonight?
I was a
Yeah.
kid watching it on like fucking BET Jams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, yeah.
That was a good. That was a good interlude. Thank you.
Good memory lane.
Like we said, we were bringing big records back in New York. It didn't even have to be big records. It had to
We'd bring back
Hot Tonight.
Hot
Like, fuck
Tonight.
it, let's bring it back. Y'all bitches ain't paying attention. I'm gonna bring this shit back.
Y'all aren't ready for this.
That's honestly what it is, though. When we bring back records, you have to let the crowd know. If you don't know this, you should know this.
Yes.
And you have to pay attention right now because this is a big fucking record. And it just honestly, like, I hate it when DJs play huge records and they spin it like it's
A regular
record.
Yeah, I hate that.
like, you got to make some kind of noise
Yeah.
or do something. Either set it up in a really big way,
Yeah.
or you got to like make or keep
You have
bringing
to,
it back.
You have to make it a moment. Yeah.
You
I feel
got to kind of annoy certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just so they notice, like, why is this motherfucker bring this shit back? It's like, oh shit, like everyone's wilding the fuck out.
Yeah.
I guess this makes sense.
Right.
If I hear
You
a
know
DJ play the intro version of Act Up, it's like, damn.
Oh
man, you did
yeah,
that record no
I don't
justice.
even think I own an intro version of Actor.
I own it.
By the
I
way,
have to.
by the way,
You can find it at DJCity.com.
all that West Coast DJs playing intro shit got to go out the window.
Whoa.
As said by a West Coast DJ.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's the first time I ever heard that one.
Wait, you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, you saying I have to stop saying
yeah.
that?
Because
Oh.
that's not, it has to go out there. Like
I
we
thought you were
don't.
making a PSA.
No, I mean that too. Like we don't do that.
Y'all used to.
No, like we don't even play party breaks. Like that's like some 2011 shit.
Yeah, the party
2010
breaks
shit.
out the window.
But once again, you know, there was a group of people that were called DJs in LA that were
You're
here
showing
before
your
you.
age, bro. You're
No,
showing your
that-
age, bro.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the history of what it is.
Don't get defensive,
Nah,
Nitrane.
no, but what I'm saying is,
This
it's
thing-
like
you know what he's saying just proves my point of everything coming back to New York because you're just starting to DJ how we're DJing out here by
No,
dropping
I-
shit on the one.
we don't even do that sometimes.
Then what are y'all doing?
So what do you do?
You drop it on the chorus.
Nah, like from what I like to do. Like there's a lot of like
I noticed what
important
you're doing,
parts. There's a lot of important parts in the record.
But I'm saying dropping it on the one, you can also drop it on the one sometime later in the record.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Doesn't
For
mean
sure.
you drop
For
it
sure.
from the top.
Okay.
No. But I'm joking about all the stuff I talk about Cali DJs and West Coast DJs. But no, there is a culture that started from way back of just you guys are known for mixing and using 8-bar intros.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys created the concept of 8-bar intros.
Yeah, I'm just saying because D Miles was outnumbered last time, and I just got to bring it up. And
No, but I mean that is the. I'm not wrong, right? That is the.
It was at a certain point, but like
There's that AM,
you
the
made
AM
it.
wave.
You made it seem like you go out anywhere, and we're playing like it's the radio.
I'll let you talk to me. I'll let you say that to me like confidently. If this style of DJing lasts another. Like, talk to me in like another 5 years.
I will. No, it's
and
fine.
be like, yo, since 2011,
I just said it.
We've been dropping it on the one. Okay,
I just said it because I only said it because D Miles was outnumbered last time and he couldn't get out of it. So.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We're not really. I'm not really serious about it.
I know
It's
you're
just,
not. Trust me, I know you're not.
No,
You're good.
I love all you Cali DJs and West Coast DJs.
Yeah, we love you, Vegas.
Whether you drop it on the one or blend it in with your 8-bar intro.
We love
I'll
you.
have horrible DJ names that you claim every other episode.
Yeah, Cali DJs have the worst DJ names.
You said West Coast in general.
I mean, West Coast, yeah, but I'm directing it more towards Cali. There's some awful names that came out, like Cali DJ names.
Nitrane.
So,
Nitrane.
where did
How'd you
Nitrane
get-
come from?
Yeah, where'd you get that?
I wish I had a fake deep story for you. Everybody tells me to have a fucking fake deep story, but I don't, and I'm just going to give you the real. I used to live close to a Costco, and there was a train track, a railroad track.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, one of my first names was Scissor Spins, which was horrible.
Yo, point.
Further proving
Yeah, you have a
that
point.
California DJs
I have
worst
terrible
DJ
names.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's fine.
I'm
That's
glad
fine.
you grew out of that one, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, and then it went from like that to like Rescue, because at that time like
DJ Rescue?
I was getting called to like come and pull up to parties because the jerkin movement was so big, and they would be hiring DJs that.
Can we not call it the jerkin movement?
No, it's
That's
called
what it was,
That's what it
though.
was,
That's what
bro.
it was.
Jerky movement.
Yeah,
You had
it was so big, and I was so
my God.
you had the New Boys,
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
New Boys, Audio Push,
Audio Push,
the Rangers,
The
you had
Rangers.
Vixen,
Cali
Yes.
Swag District was
Cali
starting to
Swag,
come up.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear what you said because you said that you said the jerkin movement was so big.
yeah. It was just it was
Pause.
like it was
It's
a
on my
movement.
Fox.
Yeah,
Just saw it.
I'm
Yeah.
still getting over this. All right. Can we call it something else?
I don't
All right.
know. I
The
don't
colorful
know.
pants era. I
So
don't
wait,
know, bro.
and then
So they would call me. They'd be like yo, because EDM was going on at that time. So it would just be like all these people that want to hear that type of music in an EDM spot, like house party, and they would be like, yo, pull up, like last minute, and I would just go play a hip hop set and be out if the party wasn't shut down by cops at the time.
right.
So yeah, I was walking to Costco.
So that was DJ Rescue.
That was DJ RES-Q, but that was only that was only there for like a month and a half. And then at that time, I was just like writing down names, and then I got like this first huge house party that like every high school in the valley was going to, and I was on the lineup. They're like, "Yo, what do we put on the flyer?" And Nitrane was the only thing that came to mind, and I had to find a way to spell it
And that's
differently.
because of the train track that
The train
drove
track,
past
it
your
was like
house.
nighttime. I was just like, all right, cool. I was just writing down. I had the Envy, the Verizon with the keyboard in it. So I was just writing down names
It's a
in it.
good joint.
I actually agree with all your boys, and you should come up with a better story. Like,
No,
you should
that's
come up with a
I
fake
know.
story that
I should
attached to it.
have
Nitrane.
it
Yeah.
once. I'll have a fake deep story once I have to.
Yeah.
But at this point,
Wait, but
you guys
prep-
are my friends.
Prep something when your album, when your Khaled
Yeah.
album drops.
Yeah, at that time.
Your
when
speech. It was cold one night.
it was cold one night.
Yeah, we actually didn't really talk about your DJ Khaled style album. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I'm putting
Wait, we still haven't talked about the Kardashian.
Yeah,
Kardashians,
no. Let's
yeah.
do the album that's more
So
important.
what do you want to
No,
go
no, no,
with?
no. I want to talk about this Kardashian party.
Okay.
That you were
And
photoshopped in.
And what your
but
raggedy ass was doing there.
We went it went left with the barbers
Can
becoming
I?
DJs.
Yeah. Can I ask you something though?
Yeah.
You dressed the way you dressed to that Kardashian party.
like right now.
I love it because you dressed like
Yeah.
you went to go pick up your little brother somewhere.
Like you were going to Costco.
Yeah,
Just like you were going to Costco.
I'm not. Listen, I wear all black most of the time, and fucking
As you should.
that's me. You know what I mean? Like
You had like a primitive tee. You had like 100 jeans on, right?
You know what I had on? I had a black Reigning Champ shirt on,
Yeah.
and a black Zara jacket, and
Did you shop there, or you already had that in the closet?
So I think I had it in the closet, and then some Paxson jeans probably,
Nice.
and I had these on.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way, trying to keep up with Hit Boy, buying leather shit, and fucking trying to be
Trend was
cool.
gone.
Yeah.
Trying to Hit Boy out it like that. There was a whole Watch the Throne era where Kanye was wearing fucking leather pants and
Yeah.
shit. So
Black shirts.
I was going to Zara again.
You're like, I'm gonna wear my Russell hoodie.
Yeah,
and
I thought
So-
with my Lee jeans, and I'm gonna tear shit up.
So that's but.
So you did that party, right?
I did that party, but you asked me how it came about.
No, yeah.
Doing all the Jamie Foxx parties, like every celebrity you can think of goes to a Jamie Foxx party because it's lit. And
My question: why didn't you call Mike Jones for a haircut? Because he looks raggedy as fuck in that picture, bro.
Listen, I share a barber with J. Cole, which is crazy.
Why you have to? What
That's a
haircut?
flex.
No,
That's
it's
a
not a flex because J. Cole don't cut his hair.
Exactly.
Wait,
Which that comes
J. Cole has a barber?
That comes full circle as well because that's like one of my second cousins. Then I didn't know about
who's your second cousin?
J. Cole's barber.
Oh,
That doesn't cut
Yeah,
J. Cole's hair.
he's Salvadorian.
What
and
is he
like,
cutting?
Huh?
Yeah,
It's just like lining
He's
up.
gonna-
Hey,
a
listen,
taper?
when you're rich, you can cut whatever the fuck you want. You could call him over just to hang out and pay him his rate. I don't have that. I go get a cut.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you share the same barber, so you must have some.
Well,
At
you
that
only,
time,
you only
it's,
get a
but
cut.
it's hard to like lock him down. That's like a 2-hour commitment. Like you have to show up. Sometimes he's not even ready for it. You like, you know how these people are.
Yeah.
Like,
I
so-
know exactly what you're talking about. That's
Yeah.
why I paid $90 for my haircut.
Yo, but can you tell
know
me
what I'm
how your fade is right now?
My fade is fucked up.
Cricket didn't even know it was a taper. He was like,
my
fuck?
typical barber wasn't available. But let's
Chelsea
back-
Charlie.
Listen, so you're at this Kardashian party.
Yeah. Okay. So
It looked like there was an
it came
orgy
up-
going on.
it-
there.
Yeah, the second picture after you slide for the
There's
first
a-
joint.
Wait.
There's a
Can I
lot.
explain
There's
this
a lot.
video that I saw? I saw a video with Kylie with her legs on French Montana's legs.
Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall
Yeah.
was like groping French Montana.
That's just.
And then Kylie and like Paris Hilton were like almost making out. It was like some weird shit. And
Damn,
then you,
what video did
and then
you-
you were
where's-
DJing.
Yes. And that was me. It came about. I ran into Courtney at the mall, really, and then
At the
At
what
the mall?
fucking mall?
at Topanga
At
Mall.
Topanga Mall. Kourtney Kardashian's at Topanga Mall.
Yeah, I ran.
You're
into-
fucking wildin'.
I ran into her at the mall.
Mind you,
But Topanga Mall is kind of nice.
It's lit. It's
fucking
great.
I don't remember that being that nice.
What were you buying and what was
And it's
she
a very
buying?
public mall.
I don't know. I was probably buying Paxson jeans.
He was probably buying the
I was
jeans that
probably
he was
buying the
gonna
jeans I
wear.
was going to there probably. Like
So you run into Courtney.
I ran into her at the mall, and I've
She was just like, oh, Nitrane.
I've dealt with that family, for
What do you mean you dealt with
Yeah, you
it?
Like,
make it
I've-
sound like you
I've-
was in, you were in a relationship somewhere in that
like
family.
I've done house parties for them. I've done
And this was all through Jamie Foxx party.
This was all doing
contact.
no, not really. Like I was doing those parties they were around, and
right.
then
And
someone
they
from
got
there,
to know you from those parties.
Yeah,
though.
they would go to those parties,
Yeah.
and I was the familiar face, and they would come up and be like, "Yo, can you play this? Can you play that?"
Right,
yada,
right.
yada. So, that's kind of how my relationship with them started.
So
And
you're
then,
at
they,
Topanga
and,
Mall.
and then they would be like, "Come over and do a house party for
yeah,
us."
they'd be like, "Yo, we're having something next week. Like, can
Okay.
you do it?" I'm like, yeah, sure.
and they're nice people. They're good people.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with them
Okay.
at all.
They feed you well. They pay you well.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
The
like
check clears.
like they asked for my writer, what I need. I don't have to bring anything but my
Nice.
laptop. Like it's pretty easy. But yeah, I ran into her at the mall and I just said hello, and then she's like, my 40th is coming up. I was like, cool. Am I invited? She's like, no, I need you to do it. I was like, all right, cool.
So
And she
if
just
you didn't bump into her, you wouldn't have gotten that gig.
no, she probably would have ended up calling either. It would have been like
Okay.
some last minute shit,
Right,
like
right,
call
right.
Nitrane. Like that's usually how shit like that pops up. It's like call Nitrane.
DJ Rescue.
Rescue. Scissor fingers? Or was it?
God damn.
Scissor
Spins.
spins.
Scissor spins.
Yeah.
That's the worst
That's
name
yeah.
ever.
So I saw her at the mall, and that was like really like we just
That's
stayed
crazy.
in touch. And then
Do you have any pressures like you can't play certain music?
yeah, for sure. I mean, with them, you just have like that's why I
Like you
feel
can't play. You obviously you can't play any Black China music, right?
I don't even know.
Can't play
if she
her
has
hot
music.
single.
That I feel like
Does
that's.
she have music?
I don't even know if
she's
she
working on
has
some
music.
You
shit.
can't play Tiger.
You can't play Ray J.
You can't play Ray J.
Listen,
You can't play I Hit It First.
If Drake was beefing
play
with
Drake?
Kanye, you can't play Drake.
You can't play Drake.
I honestly have a video of me and Kanye. He was playing music off of Aux at that party. I have a video with him. Just, I'm not a cloud chaser. I don't feel like I need to post something like that.
Can you show us a video after we record?
I can definitely.
My
But
man. What was he playing?
He was playing that Holy Water song he dropped recently. And he was playing some other stuff, which sounded,
Mob
you know,
tie, shit like that. Yeah, okay.
it sounded, whatever. But
Yeah, that's crazy. If you play Mob Ties, you can't play that shit. You can't play Mob Ties at that party.
But like you said, like I can't, like if he's beefing with Drake, I'm sorry, I can't play. Like
He's not even
they know
beefing
that.
with Drake. He just. What do you
It's
call it?
whatever.
Beef when you? Is it
But
beef?
I played Drake at that party. Like
You did play
What'd you
Yeah.
play like 2013 and before?
No, I played Drake. Like probably played Sicko Mode too. Like
You kind of need to play Sicko Mode.
Yeah,
you
that's-
get a pass for that.
I mean,
But what
that's
did you
started it.
do when he said checks over stripes? Did you take that out?
Nah, I let it play. Like
Okay.
that's not one of those parties where people are yelling at the top of their
Because they're
lungs
too
with lyrics.
they're too busy having an orgy.
They're dancing. They're fucking
Crunch, chill.
Snapchatting. Like they're doing all that.
Eyes wide
It's like
shut.
Caligula
It
shit.
was some like it was like we're all celebrities and we're all so good looking and rich.
Yeah,
of course we're gonna fuck each other. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
why. Like
You have this Latino DJ over here just
Yeah.
keep
yeah,
spinning.
like I for sure look like I'm at a place
But
there.
you wasn't
Yeah.
playing no Tiger.
You look
Don't
like you were
front.
cutting the grass.
Listen,
Like, Yo, come on.
because I know you're gonna get to it. Yes, I played a Tiger song, but it was by mistake. I want
What song was it?
I'll take. I don't want to take the full blame for it, but
Did the Kardashian
It was-
mother like run to the booth?
nah,
Like, what the
it
fuck
was.
are you doing?
It was Chloe because Robin Thicke was singing "Happy Birthday" and Chloe was like, she was
That's a
probably
flex
trying.
right there. He
She
just
was probably.
Yo, you keep dropping shit, bro.
You know what I don't like? I don't like how he casually just says these
Robin
things.
Thicke
No,
was
because-
singing Happy Birthday.
I'm glad you said his full name
I
because
don't-
if you said
Yo,
because
Robin?
Robin
No,
was
listen,
singing
Robin
Happy
who?
Birthday,
There's this thing.
Is that Robin Thicke or Rihanna? Like, I don't know what you.
I would have shut off his mic. Then. If he said yeah, because Robin wanted to sing Happy Birthday, I would have been like, who? Robin who?
Oh, Robin Fenty.
Oh, my boy Robin Thicke.
So Robin was singing "Happy Birthday."
Yo, this interview is over. Just cut it out.
Robin was there. Dave was there.
Dave who? Chappelle?
Oh my God.
Dave Chappelle was there?
Yeah, everybody was there.
Yo. Mo, were you there?
But I've had legendary nights with Dave. By the way,
Yo, I'm
Yo,
gonna throw
you
you off
need to
this
stop this shit.
fucking
Stop right
yo.
now, bro.
I'm fucking with you. Yeah, no. So Chloe came.
I ain't
Chloe
do nothing.
came. She's like, "Yo, can you play?" She's like, "Play Taste." I was like, "All right." It
You
just
like
It
question
didn't
like,
even
you
dawn
sure?
on you, huh?
it didn't even dawn on me at all. At all.
What taste was she asking
Tiger,
for?
Tiger.
She was
Taste.
asking for his song.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy that she asked for
But
it.
I mean, it's a hot song.
Yeah.
You know. But whatever. I think her her subconscious came up like and
Yeah.
asked for it, but. Me not thinking anything, I played it like,
Yeah.
right off the bat, and then my man Tori,
Tory Lanez?
nah,
I'm over you.
nah, my man Lamont Tori Stapleton, he
Oh, shout out to Lamont.
yeah, so he was like, "Yo, Kylie's calling you," and then I turned, and like
Really,
I already
Nitrane?
knew. Yeah, that's exactly what she
Really,
said.
Nitrane?
She's like, "Really, Nitrane?" I was like, "All right, yo, I'm out," and then like I didn't even let it play. Like I immediately got out of it, and that's how all that works. Like that's why I keep working with these families or these people. It's they know I'm not putting them in a position where they'll look crazy or, you know,
Yeah.
or I'll play something that they don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
mean-
was
when, you,
just
when you say these people, you mean celebrities,
yeah.
higher beings.
Higher beings with a lot of money,
Okay.
and
I don't know
and-
about higher beings, which is a lot of money.
but it's really a lot of money.
Yeah, it's just a lot
Well,
of
you
money.
didn't you DJ for Obama at the White House?
I did.
You
He was on his way out.
You don't deserve that though.
Moma deserves
Yeah,
that.
I'm tight.
That's
Yeah,
a
I'm
Moma.
tight.
That's a Moma
How
thing.
did you get that?
I know this guy named Chrisman. He was his regional campaign manager for his like 08 run.
Yeah.
And we always stayed in touch. And then I did an event with him for 420 where they were trying to legalize marijuana.
Wow.
And we actually booked Boss. It was out here in LA. We booked Boss for it, and then I DJ'd. Game was on that too. So yeah, that's like we just stayed in touch, and then I want to say that was what was the last year he was in
2016.
16, yeah. Okay, yeah. So it was the December
2016
on the way out. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
And then like a week, I think it was the same day he had like I DJ'd in the daytime, and then he had this huge party with everybody at nighttime. I think your brother was there.
Wow, is this in DC?
Yeah, it was at the White House.
It was at the White House. Wow.
Yeah. So
What were you wearing?
Packs and jeans.
I know. I think I had a black blazer on and like some dress pants and some cool kicks. Like, it wasn't
Is
like
it all clean music at the White House?
for sure. Like I went through a background check for a couple weeks. So before I got there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Did you get a picture with him?
There's probably one with me in the background or somewhere, but I
feel like you got to
Did
get a
you
picture
like-
with Obama, man.
on the way out tour.
nah. I didn't. Like I didn't get a picture with him.
Did you like shake hands with Obama?
Yeah. It was one of those like
You, my friend.
Yeah, it was one of those like yeah. Give me, like
He gave you a pound or just
Nah,
like
it was one of these. It was one of those. You know.
That's when you got to kind of. Can I get a picture, sir? I mean,
Nah, it was just a lot going on.
Yeah, like,
it was
really?
a lot
Look it
going
up?
on.
I would have tried everything. And I'm not the type to ask anyone for a picture. But for Obama, I would have stopped everything to take a picture with him.
I
man.
mean, if it all works out, I'm sure I'll come across
Yeah.
him at some point.
Do you think
love the
sometimes
way
you're too humble? Like you don't put enough out
Definitely,
there?
yeah, for sure. And it's a down. I don't want to say it's a downfall, but it definitely hurts me. But at the same time, it's like
You're not chasing.
I
it.
value more my relationship with these people or with the higher beings than losing it over a picture.
We're calling them higher beings now. I like that. I like that we're accepting this new language.
I'm just gonna go with
No,
whatever.
don't do that.
I'm going whatever Crooked does. man.
Nah.
We can call them HBs for sure.
Listen,
Peace for sure.
with people of this caliber.
Look, God status.
God status. I don't know. Is higher being a little bit?
It's a
It's
little
right underneath
degrading.
God's
To,
stat.
yeah.
I think higher being is right underneath.
Yeah,
I think it might be
right.
above God status.
It's like the check-in.
Nah, I think it's underneath.
higher being.
Higher
yeah.
being.
man, but yeah, that was a really good.
One day we'll all understand the HB life.
When
We don't understand it right now, so we have
I
to
I don't-
ask
You
you
get to
these
visit
questions.
HB.
I don't understand it. Yeah, it was cool. Then
We just have to live through you and ask these
yeah,
questions.
I didn't talk about the Jay-Z and Beyonce moment. Which,
Whoa.
Did I drop something? Did I drop something?
Yo, your shit's spilling on this fucking floor all day since these two came in the room.
At least you
Wait,
didn't.
wait.
At least you didn't call him Sean.
Oh.
You talking about Hove?
Everybody calls him Hove. S. Dot Carter.
At C.
Wait, what is the story that you subtly threw out there?
Remember?
I just I did a Coachella party for Adidas in Ivy Park, which is Beyonce's. It was to
got
celebrate.
that huge launch.
Yeah, so it was to celebrate the launch, and it was all her Ivy Park employees and friends and family, and
It's like a Coachella after party.
yeah, and I think like Duce Palooza was curating like the music of it. So shout out to Cam for calling me and putting me on.
Wait, and then you just got that through Rock Nation, Dreamville, and all
Through
that?
Cam who does Duce Palooza, the
Okay,
party
yeah,
Duce
Duce, yeah.
Palooza.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Cam threw my name in there, I guess people in the Rock Nation building kind of were like, yeah, of course.
That's
So,
dope.
Yeah, so
Yo,
that was
fuck
cool.
being a club DJ.
Let
me tell you, bro.
Listen, I would. That's one of my things. It's like I would love to be a club DJ. Like,
No.
I grew up seeing Eric Deluxe, Vice, all that, and
Yeah.
you guys, have residencies, have these gigs, and travel just DJing.
Yeah.
So that's still always a goal for me. No matter how big the party that I do is.
Right,
so,
right.
So back to Sean, bro.
it's great that I'm doing these type of events, but I still want that, and I still at least want to conquer it, so I know I could do it.
Yeah.
That's dope. I think it's important. I mean, I think the whole thing about DJing, and this is why I always talk about the age thing, right? Like hitting 30. It's just that, there's so many like brackets and departments of DJing.
Yeah.
You have to be able to know how to do a corporate event,
Right.
even a wedding, even like you said, a tour DJ, an arena event, a festival,
A Sweet 16.
a Sweet 16, a nightclub, a top 40 nightclub, a hip hop. So it's like you kind of build your experience, and then you start building a larger catalog of music.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, but it's really important, like you said, to just touch all variables, you know what I mean? And be comfortable in those, and just to do as much as possible.
Of course, yeah.
But club DJing is one aspect, and I always want, like, you know, I want motherfuckers all across the country and outside to understand that it's just not one thing. It's not like a Vegas residency like defines you. It doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? It's just one thing, you know?
I understand that it doesn't define you, but at the same time, it's like growing up in my era and seeing that be a possibility, and like you guys opening doors in that sense, it's like, you know, why not do something you've always wanted?
But I compare it to like what is it, the Source freshman issue? Is that relevant now?
XXL
Double
now.
XL.
Double XL, you're talking about.
Double XL.
No,
Sorry.
it's not relevant. I wouldn't think it's relevant.
Yeah, but like some people still want to do that, and I'm like, it's not even fucking relevant now. I don't even think there's a marketing or press value with it. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't even look at that shit. Like, just keep doing your shit. You know what I mean?
No, and I've come to understand that, because there was many times where I was like, damn.
But you got to put your pictures out there. You got to get the Obama picture. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get the flick moments, bro.
Yeah.
No, of course. I mean, trust me, there's a lot, and there's a time. I feel like there's just a time and place for everything, and
that's a very humble perspective on it. Yeah.
I mean, you know, like that's just how, you know, I just hate rejection. Yeah, that's one thing, but I'll go through it.
Wait, how does that tie in?
And like asking for a picture.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be like, yeah, no, not right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather not. I'd rather like get to know you, or like hit a point, or like play a song that you love, and you're gonna become my friend just off that.
Yeah.
You know.
Honestly, I feel you 100%.
Yeah, I understand
You know,
that.
No. I think you need to get the Obama picture. There's a difference with that. That's not like cloud chasing.
I don't run into. I don't.
bro. I was in. Again, I'm gonna drop something right now, right?
Go ahead,
Drop it, yeah.
I was in a setting like this with Prince, and I could never,
Come on, bro.
never ask for a photo.
No, but you would never do that with Prince.
I would do that with Prince.
Barack Obama, it's the same shit.
No,
bro.
it's totally different.
What the fuck? Yo, you guys crazy.
Listen,
No,
I
it's
was
totally
in a
different.
setting.
I feel like Prince have a reputation, and he would most likely say no.
Yeah, Obama,
But Obama would be
kisses
like-
babies as a
Exactly,
politician.
yeah.
He's gonna be
I
ready.
don't know, bro. I love
No,
Prince.
Obama's Jamie. Listen, all right. Obama is a politician. Shakes everyone's hand. Takes pictures with. He's not gonna tell anybody, no, I'm not taking this picture. Do you understand what I'm saying? He can't look like a bad guy at all. Prince could tell anyone to go fuck themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Indeed, but I think the fact is, when you're in that intimate a setting with those people, you're just like, I cannot be that guy.
Yeah, it was very intimate.
I wasn't.
It's very-
I'm gonna drop something else.
Go ahead, bro.
please.
Make room.
And this is only because I was following Cole and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a Rihanna birthday party, and like something really small and intimate.
Right.
It was probably like one of those rooms at
rooftop one, right?
the 4040.
Yeah.
One of the private rooms held like 15 or 20 people at the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, I was just like, man, I'm meeting Rihanna. I just hugged Rihanna, and I'm like, yo, Eve, can I take a photo? And Eve was like, nah, don't do it, bro. Everybody here is somebody. And I was like, but I'm nobody. I'm the only nobody.
let me tell you how.
But I didn't ask.
That's different.
But that's a different
That's
situation,
totally
man.
different.
But listen,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
I would tell you, I would agree with your situation. If you were doing the Jay-Z Beyonce
If it's-
Adidas thing, I would be like, no pictures.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Let me tell you why. Because I ran into Jay-Z at the Drake concert in L.A. He was there with Beyonce. Jay-Z came up to say what up to his brother Ebe, and I was next to Ebe, dapped him up. I've always wanted to meet Jay-Z, always. And I let it be cool, played it cool. I was like, yo, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. 2 weeks later, I'm doing that party with him in there, and he's grabbing me, and we're jumping to Kendrick. All right,
That's
So
an
it's like-
amazing moment.
right. So it's like, if it's meant, what if I would have called for that picture? What if I would have told him?
I
for that
wouldn't
picture?
tell you to ask for a picture with Jay-Z or these cool people.
So you're only talking about Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. That's the only fucking thing I said this whole time. I said with Barack Obama, you need to get the
Listen.
picture.
I mean,
But you got like Secret Service behind him, pushing
Yeah.
him along. It's hard.
Yo, fam. He's built for pictures. I've seen losers take pictures with Obama. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
That is
part-
my biggest regret.
Part of
in
the
life.
job of being president of the United States.
You have to
got-
take pictures.
That's why you have to control the United States and take selfies with everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. You can't compare Prince and fucking Obama. Prince is not. He's gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. Obama, that dude's ready for the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Next time
saying?
you see,
But
good old Barry,
he's also home in his house.
You got a good point. You got a good point.
It's totally different. Like it's one of those things where it's also how you approach him. Like, dude, it's such an honor.
Yeah.
I want to show this to my children, man. Like,
Or show it to my mother.
You know what I mean? And show it to my mother. That's the difference between Jay-Z and like that's a whole totally different
get
thing.
it.
You know what I
get
mean?
it, yeah.
Prince would be like, somebody call security.
and he floats away. So back to
There's an intruder in my mansion.
Yeah, because it's not like a coolness factor. It's just really it's beyond that to me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
definitely.
like, yo,
Obama is some historic.
Yeah, but you can't. It's not like Prince or anything like that. I would never.
Technically,
you know.
Obama works for you.
Yeah,
He's serving
He's
the
your
people.
president.
He's serving the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
he
obligated to
didn't-
take all the selfies you ask for.
He didn't serve me my picture because I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, but I'm saying those are the moments you have to capture.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to your Khaled album now.
Okay.
Now that we got the the higher Bing
Kardashian,
story,
all
all
that
this the
stuff.
higher Bing stories.
Is there
out
any
the
left
way.
that you haven't said?
I mean, this is a lot. I have what? Quincy Jones, Oprah. What do you want to know? No,
Oh
sorry.
man.
I think I dropped some.
Damn, say less, bro.
Nah,
Wow.
I mean, there's just I've just been really blessed and honored. And Jamie Foxx, a lot of that stuff shaped me at
Yeah, yeah.
his parties, like
And Mike
a lot of
Jones,
that.
yeah,
And you know, I remember Jamie asking me for a song I didn't have, which was "Do Me" by Belle Biv DeVoe, and that was like, I'm having every single song ever, and
Right.
that just like built me to like study everything.
Right.
How did he look at you when you told him you didn't have it?
He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't think." I was like, "Let me find it. Like, let me look for it." And Wi-Fi's trash where he lives. Like, it's such a big house. Like, you know, it's weird.
Another flex.
It's not my house. It ain't my house.
Cut to this album. Hurry up.
It's not my house. But what I'm saying is, it's like that moment right there. Him, I remember it clearly. It's
I
like,
think we. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
about Jamie Foxx's wife.
that's what I'm saying. Like that. That study.
Yeah.
Like that made me research music. Go back. Go forward. Everything.
It's a defining moment a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Now I got like 10 versions of Do Me. I got background vocals.
I would've looked back-
I
I
saw
would've
Michael Bivins.
I would have looked back at him like I would have been like, pick something else.
You can sing that, right? Here's the mic.
Yeah.
Ralph Tresvant, sensitivity. What do you want?
Yeah, whatever.
No, but let's talk about this epic album that you're about to drop.
It's not epic yet. I still gotta do a lot, but I'm working on a few songs.
So are you producing?
I'm,
What is it?
Yeah, I guess producing, executive producing, arranging. Like that's always been my thing. It's like putting different art. I was like, how would this artist sound over this or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it was born.
Who are you working
And,
with on this?
You spill any beans.
You know, it has a bunch of beats laying around. So
Wow, that's big.
I'm
Pause.
bugging him for a bunch of beats, and I'll bring in artists as well to him, so he can work with them and build those relationships. Same way I wanted to build Boss and Hit Boy, you know. So I'm kind of going back to that and trying to like that's my dog, you know.
Yeah.
So trying to bring artists around him, keep working, and then if something comes out for my album, cool. Like there's this song he got with like Big Sean and A$AP Ferg that's about to come out. I'm sure that could have been something that would have gone on my album, but I'm sure is a higher purpose for that song.
Right. So do you have do you know when you want to drop it? This year or next year?
I don't have a timetable. I'm still like
Whenever it's ready.
yeah, whenever it's ready. It's probably like 8 records. I'm still waiting for different artists to like send verses back. Like has another one
Wow.
that I'm working on. What else? Who else could be on it? I just reached out to like, I'm using all the contacts I've built and like all the, I don't want to say favors that I've done, but like I'm working on something finally for myself that I could.
Self-respect.
Yeah.
So you're basically kind of like creating a collage, like
Yeah,
a
for
musical
sure.
collage,
A musical
and
collage.
you're gluing it all together.
And it's gonna tie in together.
Because you're
somehow,
not making all
somewhere.
the beats yourself.
No,
you're
not
getting
at all.
like you're getting certain producers.
Yeah.
And then you're hearing the beat and you're saying, "Oh, this guy's gonna sound good on this beat."
Right. I know. Like
Right?
I know what sound like. We're all DJs. We know what sounds
Yeah.
good and we know what doesn't. So
So I got a question.
yeah.
With the way music is right now, and with the way kind of like streaming is and the platform of streaming,
Mm-hmm.
do you think you need to put together 8 songs for an album, or can you just drop maybe 2 songs?
Yeah, you could drop 2 songs and
Anytime it's ready, right?
anytime, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm just so free with it. Like I don't have a rollout planned out. Like I'll see what this one does, and if
Yeah.
it goes crazy, I'll drop another one.
But I do think for your first project to get your name out there,
But that's
for people to understand what Nitrane is,
Yeah.
it should be like one EP or one album.
I mean, when it comes to the EP, there would be a strategy for it. But for like loose records, like I'm gonna throw feelers out, and I probably won't even use Nitrane. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. We'll see.
How long you been working on it?
Probably like a year and a half. I want to
Are
say.
we gonna go back to DJ Rescue?
I'm
or
not going back to
Scissors
DJ
Fills?
Rest. No, I'm just
From a marketing perspective,
I'll probably go with Nitrane.
from
now.
a marketing perspective,
Yeah.
stick with Nitrane.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think it's important to test out a couple songs
Yeah.
and throw it out there with no pressure at all.
Mhm.
And then maybe after a year or so, or a couple months, or 6 months or so,
Yeah.
drop the album. Just because I've been looking at these album drops recently, and there's so much music going out there.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to have people listen to an 8-song or 10-song album
Yeah.
than it is to drop 1 or 2 songs, have an A side, B side technically for streaming. Like, I just think you can catch people's attention, and if it's good, you know, you get like a couple.
If it's good, you keep
You
going.
can check
yeah.
the momentum and see,
For
like,
sure.
okay, people weren't feeling that. Let's just go
Mhm.
and go
Yeah.
left and go right, and then later you can literally, let's say you drop like in a span of like 8 months,
Right.
you drop like 4 singles, right? And then you can literally say, okay, I'm gonna drop an album, make like 4 new songs, and then take some of those old singles
And just put 'em in
and
there.
put them together and
Yeah.
part of the album.
That
You know
could-
what I'm saying?
That could be something like that. I think everybody does that.
Yeah.
All the
Well,
time.
I know like a lot of people don't do that. We're getting a lot of albums with like, it almost seems like a lot of work to me, because there's these like 20 song albums and like 30, like Chris Brown's album was like what, 32
Yeah.
songs, and that was like, I couldn't even go through all that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like nuts. Even the Revenge of the Dreamers album was pretty long. Like pause. Yeah.
That's probably one of the longest albums they've ever put out.
Yeah,
really.
but that's because they
just
started with
'cause it's so
150
many.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's a moment too. It was a moment.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really why.
And that shit was created over 5 days.
10
10
days.
That's
That's
nuts.
crazy.
10 days to do a whole album with 100 and something songs like created.
Right.
I'm sure Ebe had a field day of trying to break that down.
I mean,
but-
there were a lot of different ways they were gonna put out the album.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really get into it, but
yeah.
that was one of many options that they had.
Yeah, let's
Mhm.
get some. I want to talk about the Dreamville album, but I want to also talk about the focus on your album that you're gonna work on,
Mhm.
because you're saying it's gonna be like Khaled but better. You know what I'm saying? So like, what is there a designated sound that you're kind of focusing on, or you're just looking like, yo,
It's
I
ju-
want to make some, like, are you trying to make some club music?
It's like the best of everything. I could, we can try and create like the best Afrobeat record, the best trap record.
but
and
you're focusing on the club,
I'm,
right?
I'm focusing, yeah, for sure. Mainly, I'm focusing on clubs just because, and I'm sure I'll probably throw in like a R&B record in there
Right.
just to kind of, balance it out. But I'm focusing mainly on stuff people will play
Mhm.
all the time. Like that's my main focus.
So
I
not
want it
all-
to be timeless.
You don't want like some mysterious Tyler the Creator shit.
No shot. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna get, like simplicity wins. That's really my motto. Simplicity wins at all times. So,
Yeah.
I'm not focused on creating like huge watch the throne flips and stuff like that. Like I just want it to be simple. Press play. Oh, I love this song.
That's good.
That's about it.
I like it. Now let's
Yeah.
talk about Dreamers. The Dreamers.
Did we already talk about it to
Talked
death?
about
though?
it.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
we
talked
did.
about
Talked about it a
beginning,
lot.
Did we? I want to hear more about that whole session, bro.
You're gonna have to bring in somebody else.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Don't drink that glass in front of me and say that
San
shit.
Pellegrino.
And smack your lips.
You had to make somebody else. Not today, champ.
Well,
Not
I want
today.
to know, has there been any talks of how they're going to release the other 100, or is it just going to stay in the vault?
It's 140 or some shit.
Everyday People was dope yesterday, by the way.
Word.
That's
That
how
was
it
a fun
is?
time. You
Everyday
killed
People
it.
was dope.
I'm
You
getting
should bring
blown
back
off.
Nitrane more often, Moment.
Yo, what's up, Neva? How you doing, bro? You
I'm
all
good,
right?
man. Golden, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
getting,
man.
I'm getting blown off over here. Pause. Pause. I'm getting blown off.
Yeah, man. I don't know. They do what they do.
So you guys don't want to talk about the Dreamers at all. So you guys are blowing me off. Pause. Let's wait. I actually want to circle back to Duce Palooza because you
Yeah.
recently did that, right?
Yeah.
How was that party?
It's very I want to say it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's big, right? It's like 3,000-4,000 people.
Yeah, it's like 3,000.
So what is that? Like everyone pays an entry fee and they
Everyone
get
pays
to
a-
drink Duce all day?
No, there's a bar. I mean, there's packages. I think there's like different packages. You buy like $150 ticket, you get like open bar, Duce Palooza or something like that. As far as music goes, though, I played a lot of like southern hits, a lot of down south shit, a lot of East Coast shit.
Was there other DJs or it was just you?
Yeah, it was me, Mo Beats, Big Sean's DJ.
That's Mo Beats.
Yeah, shouts to Mo. It was Mo, Sean G from LA. Yeah, I know
Oh, yeah,
Sean
yeah,
G.
Sean G, yeah.
Sean G
Yeah.
was on it. And Jay Murphy from DC was on it.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So it was the four of us. Oh, and Austin Mills, who's like their resident. But yeah, I was on right after Sean and right before Mo, which I didn't want to like go too crazy. Like I stayed away from the swag surf stuff because that's like their peak. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? With those type of parties,
Yeah.
that's their peak. So I played like some West Coast shit.
was your set?
Old Rockefeller hits. It was like an hour, so it was quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew exactly, like it was a LA crowd mixed with transplants. So East Coast homies want to hear
Yeah.
their East Coast shit, but
Because
it's
it known
LA.
as it's known as a New York party, right?
Yeah, it started in New York. Yeah.
So is it like when you do something like that, they're expecting you to do like East Coast shit and New York shit?
Nah,
Not
they're
really,
expecting
right?
you to do you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want you to do you. And
Right.
that's the best part.
They
but
want you to bring that West Coast Cali flavor to their party.
for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, like their big moments or like Instagrammable moments are
Mm-hmm.
like the swag surf,
Dreams and nightmares.
Dreams and Nightmares, stuff
Right.
like that. And they had Rick Ross perform at that one, which was
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yo, that party is super mega. Like, you gotta shout those people out because what they did is they flipped something that started in an apartment, a house party that started in an apartment
With Hennessy.
in Harlem.
Yeah, Hennessy.
And everybody, it was like open Henny. They were
Yeah.
providing it. Then obviously became Henny Palooza. But I'm not sure if they ever really got buy-in from the Hennessy people.
Oh.
I think they were just kind of
Nah,
like
they were just
bootstrapping
doing
it.
yeah.
And so it's a black-owned event, and they ended up partnering up with Duce, which is a black-owned company, and now they're taking it all over the country.
All
I
over
think
the
that's
country.
Yeah, I think
it's
part of
incredible.
the admission in the beginning was bring a bottle of Henny and fried chicken.
When it was a house party.
Yeah, when it began, like that was part of the admission, and you could come in if you had that.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
So yeah.
So that the party started as a house party, and you had to bring a fried chicken and,
And
a
a
bottle
bottle
of Henny,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then it became Henny Palooza.
Yeah, then it was just
And,
that.
and then it became Henny Palooza. They were just selling, I think, tickets, which gave you an open bar for Hennessy until supplies ran out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? But I don't know if they pursued Hennessy
They,
or
they
if
tried.
They
but it
probably
didn't-
did.
it didn't
Hennessy
work out.
fronted on them.
Yeah.
And now it's just like it's a black-owned business that partnered up with a black-owned brand,
Yeah.
and I think it's just beautiful. It's an amazing
great.
story, and it's super mega. And I don't know, they do 3, 4, 5. I think they did the Brooklyn Mirage.
They just did, in New York.
In New York, which is 4,000 or 5,000 people, maybe more, maybe
Yeah. I
I
6
think
or
it's like
7.
once a month or twice a month. But
They did a New Orleans one for Essence
Yeah,
Fest.
and they tour around the country as well.
Yeah, I think ICM picked them up to like do those. So I think ICM books all their venues now.
It's funny how like when you're creating something from scratch and you're going through the motions, and it's like it's something unique and it's something creative and it's something that the people want, and you know that it could blow up. It's really important to pair yourself up with the right branding sponsor or corporation that can help support that shit.
Right.
It's one of those things I always think about with everyday people, with your party and all that, like picking the right sponsors and picking the right companies to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's as you keep growing, as your party keeps growing and stuff. Do you know do you hold out for this one company that you want, or do how do you how do you accept the corporate sponsorships, and all that stuff?
I think the reason why the brands would want to work with everyday people or Duce Palooza is because it's an authentic experience. That's what brands want, right?
Right.
They want authenticity because they know that they're just brands to people. So how do we become authentic? We got to partner up with like an authentic platform. And that's all well and good for them, but for us, it's got to also not necessarily look authentic because people understand you're trying to get the bag, but it can look contrived. So we've turned down like soda companies,
Right.
Because we're like, we can't be out there like pushing high fructose corn syrup to our people. They know better than that.
Mm-hmm.
But we've partnered up with liquor brands because people come out and they want to get lit. And, who's to say what's better, alcohol, high fructose corn syrup? You know what I mean? You really can't tell. But for the people, it's all right. Everyday people is partnering up with Jameson or Avion Tequila or whatever. All right, well, that's kind of part of the flow of things. Mm-hmm. But if tomorrow we partner up with White Castle, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Right.
And White Castle, we've turned down McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's came with a huge bag, and we're there like, fuck, this is a massive bag.
That's tough.
But we were just like, we can't do McDonald's because we will never recover from that shit.
Dude, do you remember when I went to Essence Fest with you one time in New Orleans?
Yeah.
And it was when the Bad Boy reunion tour was going on. Mm-hmm. And they had a Bad Boy reunion tour, and it was like Essence Fest. It was in the big Mercedes-Benz arena. And they literally, Essence Fest had like a 20-minute McDonald's commercial.
Damn.
It was terrible.
And it was like it fucked up the whole flow of the whole. It was so odd, and it was so out of place.
And McDonald's they stay doing, props to McDonald's, man. They're a corporation. They do what they got to do, but they booked like 20 DJs last year. And everybody had to do the same post on their social media with the golden arches, with the same hashtags, with the exact same copy. Yeah. And I was just like, man, that shit is cringeworthy. And everybody probably got a bag, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't fault nobody for getting theirs.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to be like, this ain't for me. I got to figure out another way to eat. I'm going to drive an Uber. I'm going to do what I got to do.
I get it.
Drive an Uber?
I did something.
Wait. How do we go from a McDonald's sponsorship to driving an Uber? That's crazy.
What I'm saying is that...
You got an Uber sponsorship? You just sprinkle in?
Can we find like a medium, though? Like,
All right, that was probably a little dramatic.
I get them, though, because I did something with Toyota, but it actually made sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't degrading, or
explain.
It was just pretty much me paired up with a fashion designer, Alayli May. She did some work. Yeah.
She's actually a very prominent figure in the streetwear fashion. Yeah,
exactly, and it makes sense.
I mean, she had her own Jordan.
Yeah, she had her own Jordan. Exactly. Yeah. So it was something dope. Like she styled me, and we just talked about how music and fashion cross into, how they have common denominators.
What were you guys like, driving in a Prius?
And we were driving it. We were in a Toyota. We were in the backseat of a Toyota. We were just chopping it up. It was genuine as fuck.
That's kind of cool. To me, that's as close to an authentic experience as you can get. Because you could be driving with a fellow creative in the back of an Uber that's a Prius.
Right.
See how I brought it back to Uber?
Right.
But yeah, no, I get it. I'm not gonna hold up.
That was a major reach, though.
That was a huge reach.
I'm not holding up fucking French fries and hashtagging ad on my shit. Like that's not what I am.
The whole thing is that there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But my brand does not align with stuff like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's all it is.
I want to know what she dressed you in.
Crazy, something
yeah,
crazy.
Like a Balenciaga windbreaker.
I had this off-white, some shit I can't afford probably. I had this off-white green jacket.
You had to give it back?
Blue. Yeah, No, I kept, she actually gifted me some ones.
Okay, dope.
Some Jordan ones that I wore, and then some crazy jeans. Yeah, it was.
How do you pronounce the name? Ali May?
Alayli May.
Alayli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get the black and silver ones or the color ones?
No, it was some gray and black joints that turn pink if like they're scratched off or something.
I know what you mean. Yeah, those are dope.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the bag for something like that?
Oh man, I don't know. It was probably like 10. No, I'm saying it was. I think I did it for like. I'm sure I could have got more.
Yeah.
But I do everything myself, so I think for this one I had Derek. I had Derek probably delegate just because,
Derek
Is Boss's
Oakley.
manager.
He's Boss's manager.
Was
So
also a part of Dreamville.
yeah.
Shout
I
out to
just,
D.
I was like, if there's a time for me to try, I've done everything by myself
Yeah.
to this point. So that was me trying out something new and seeing if I could have somebody else delegate stuff for me.
Right.
So that was me. That was the perfect moment for me to try something
Shout to
new.
Derek too, because
Yeah,
he
for
was
sure.
there since the beginning of Boss.
Yeah,
Since the very beginning. Yeah.
for sure.
Since
Yeah.
before they was playing
Since
football
before,
in high
yeah.
school or whatever.
Yeah.
Since before. But yeah, that was me trying something out. But yeah, something like that was like 3, I think.
At what point do you think you're gonna need a manager?
I mean, until it
I
gets
think you need
crazy.
one now. No, kind of a little bit. No.
There's days where I feel like I do.
Yeah.
But I feel like nobody's gonna care about my career as much as I do.
I think what you need is kind of similar to what I have. It's not necessarily a manager, and shout out to Maine, who
Shout out to
works
Maine,
with me
yeah.
at Everyday People, all my parties, dance. You probably need something closer to a business partner,
Right.
because your business you're hitting many verticals.
Yeah.
You got celebrity parties. You're doing the hip hop tour life. You got your own album that you're working
Right.
on. You probably need somebody closer to a business partner
Yeah.
than a manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone who could offer you, number one, what's the most important to me would be just another objective perspective on whatever you're doing.
For sure.
And, and just shows you kind of like, I know you don't want to do that, but it's also better on a marketing sense. It's not bad for that guy to ask to get a picture.
Right.
And it's not bad for that guy to be like, I'm
Yeah.
controlling your Instagram and I'm going to put this picture up.
Sure, because
you know what I mean?
there's many times where like I don't do things because I'm in my own head where I like, I don't think it's just gonna fit,
Yeah.
or it's just like, am I even right for it?
Right.
So
The best thing though about a manager is when somebody comes with an offer and you're just like, oh God, I don't like the haggle. And the manager will be like, nah, we
Yeah.
can't do it for that. We need X plus 2,000.
Right.
And they just okay it.
That's the
You're
thing.
like, God damn.
That's the thing with me. It's like they'll come with something, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I could probably do it for that. Like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
You could have a manager that can maybe double that. and you
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
sure.
even know
But
it.
I'm saying like
Yo,
I could have a
they'll
manager.
double that. They'll throw
double-
like airport
I'll have
transport.
transportation, all
dinner.
of that. Yes,
Throw all types of shit
I
in
get
there.
it, but I'm thinking about damn, they're gonna think I'm crazy for asking for shit like this.
Yeah.
But
But it would from you. It would sound
It
crazy.
would sound-
The artist
Yeah.
it sounds crazy.
Yeah, so I maybe like
That's
he said, I
that's
need a
funny
business
that you say a
partner.
business partner, because I think that's important now too. I think the way the game is going, like the, not saying the new generation, but people don't want to have job titles. They want to feel like they're a part of a business.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a smart way to look at things, because it's like, I don't want to be a job title, because a job title doesn't have any future ownership in anything.
Yeah.
So they want to be like everyone wants to kind of be a part of a movement and say they had a hand in that business.
Right.
And having changing the title of a manager to, a business partner, or this dude handles all my affairs and stuff. It's a really good perspective on the evolution of where this whole thing is going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense because I feel like we're growing out of the DJ agency era where, I'm seeing
DJs are their own agency now.
exactly.
Right.
DJs are their own agency now, and I'm in the middle of that, of where I saw DJ agencies bloom.
Right.
So in my head, I'm thinking, damn, I gotta sign to a DJ agency.
No, you don't. Yeah.
Right, but at the
Stay away, bro.
but at the same time, I
wouldn't say stay away, but just whatever fits right into
but
what you're doing.
Right, but at the same time, I have the patience and people around me that are like, you know what, you're doing all this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well keep going till you hit a plateau.
Well, the
and
thing
then figure it
the
out.
thing is what you're doing is working, right?
Yeah.
So you don't
So
need to. You don't want to. If you go to an agency, you almost have to conform to whatever their business
Right.
operations are, and sometimes that can hurt you more than it can help.
Right.
So you really need someone to come in and really understand and shadow you, and see exactly how you interact,
Right.
and also kind of see where they fit in. You could jump in at any time because you know more about this than I do, but you need someone to shadow you and really understand. Oh, this is where he's lacking, and this is where I need to pick up the speed with the album. This is where he's lacking, and where I need to pick up the speed with his corporate events. This is where he's lacking in the celebrity contacts. This is where he's lacking in the club scene, and then this is where he's lacking in the tours. And and stuff. And then that's really what you need to have, because you're in a special case, in a situation where you have a lot of opportunities going on, and you don't really want to you don't want to miss out, because there's going to be that you're whoever whoever you end up working with, they're really going to they got to fit in,
They
fill in the holes.
They have to be, CEO of Nitrane Entertainment,
Right.
All 360 degrees of it, and
everything. Yeah.
It helps to have that person.
I mean, shit, man. If you out there, let me know.
Well, it's got to be a homie.
It's got to be a homie. Yeah,
it's got to be a homie.
I agree.
It's got to be somebody who knows you, who understands your taste, your sensibilities.
Yeah,
who really understands your value.
Right.
I also don't like burdening people with shit where it's it's like, oh, I need you to do this. Like, no, I've never. Like, I hate.
Oh, wait, no,
asking
but you
people
paying
for
them.
shit.
You paying them.
I mean, for sure,
I'd
I'd
be paying them, so they got to.
But that's really the tough conversation, is sitting down the homie and being like, look, this is what you're gonna get, and then look, if this builds anymore, this is the potential of where it can get to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a starting point and something they can work for. Yeah. To build it, you can fill in. You're always telling me that I'm horrible at that kind of
Yeah, you're not good at delegating.
Yeah.
And I think. I used to be kind of more like you when I wanted to get everything 100% right.
Right.
But then I started adhering to the 80-20 rule, which is like, instead of me doing 100% of the work and doing it right, let me just do 20% of the work, which is just fixing whatever they didn't do right.
Yeah.
But at least that 80% of it is going to be good. And by year 1, by the end of year 2, they're going to start getting 90% right. And then by year 3, they're doing 99% right.
Yeah.
And you're just focusing on all these other things, and you're really soaring. Like, I can't keep up with the amount of work I'm getting this summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really a function of integrating Maine and everything I've been doing maybe about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat down, and he's my homie. And I was like, listen, I'm already busy. I'm already doing mad shit. I'm producing events. I'm DJing, I'm working on music, and I literally drew up a chart, and I was like, in this vertical, you'll get this much. In that vertical, you'll get X amount. And in the new shit that we're doing, we're like business partners 50-50.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was easy for him to buy in, because a lot of the work was already existing, and he just had to focus on keeping the existing shit tight and growing the stuff that was kind of like a new segment. And he's my homie, and I trust him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we can talk frankly about shit. Like, if I did something wrong, or if he did something wrong, or we forgot to let each other know, be like, all right, boom, that was a huge mistake. Somebody dropped the ball. Let's build a process where it doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Like stupid shit, like USB cables not being there. Like dumb shit
at the venue.
Yeah, at the venue. Be like, all right, boom, let's edit the rider, or like, we negotiate a fee for an event, and then we find out they're selling $50 tickets, and we're like, what the fuck? They're selling $50 tickets? How did we not ask that? You know what I mean? We assumed it would have been free, or maybe $20. And so we just start building in all these processes that when we come back, the shit is just tighter and tighter and tighter.
Pause, yeah. I have this conversation with Jamie a lot, and there's, because Jamie, I always talk to, when there's a problem, right? When there's a problem, we have to find a process or a system to avoid the problem, because there's always going to be an obstacle in everything we do, nonstop. It's never going to go 100%.
Everything.
There's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be some type of crazy, left field
curveball.
Lessons learned. Yeah, just lessons learned.
And then you just have to always be on top of it and really address the problem and the issue. And sometimes, when you're working with someone, it's really kind of a managerial way of looking at operations, because sometimes people can come in on, oh, that wasn't my job, or like, I didn't know I was supposed to do that, or yo, you were supposed to take care of that. And I feel like that is an employee mentality of like
a worker mentality.
It's not an owner mentality. It's an employee mentality where it's not addressing the problem. It's deflecting the responsibility. And what it comes down to is that we all, like, you have to make sure whoever you're working with doesn't have an employee kind of state of mind. They really have to see the problems and be like, that was a mistake, and we're going to avoid that by doing this.
Right.
You can't have that dude that was like, yo, I thought you was going to take care of that. Or like, yo, you didn't tell me that. Or no, he was supposed to do that. Those are the worst fucking people to have on your team, man. And they're gonna destroy your fucking brand because they're not focused on the problem. They just don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And they'll do whatever they can to not get in trouble and to float under the radar and just get by. And those are the motherfuckers you have to get away from.
Cut 'em off.
And that's an example of PTSD. That was crooked PTSD,
crazy,
but I
bro.
feel him.
It's real.
I feel him.
It's very true.
I've been through that without pointing to any fingers or anything, but I don't want that. And I want you, that's why I was talking to Jamie. Don't have that mentality about problems. So if something's missing or if there's an issue, address the issue. Don't address the responsibility who was in charge of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you always fix it first.
Right.
Yes.
And then
Then you figure out how it happened later, and then you implement a process so it doesn't happen again.
'Cause
That's
all-
the order of shit.
no, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all that person is doing is actually making your job harder. Because now you got to worry about that motherfucker not being able to understand it's not about who fucked up. It's about the fuck up
Right.
and how we can fix it.
No, for sure.
And then fixing it in the future. You know what I'm saying? That was a pretty good lecture time.
That was pretty
It's
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to Crooked's TED Talk.
Talk.
Yeah, TED Talk.
Every word's like motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yo,
This
you can't
motherfucker-
trust the motherfucker when you do. Yeah.
And you don't want this motherfucker.
D-Miles are never sober. Like, yo, we hear this shit every day.
They're like, oh my god, he's going through this shit again.
Fuck.
We just had this meeting this morning.
I get it on a weekly basis, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm
it's a
on
motivational
you.
talk.
I'm
That's
on
good.
You.
You should get it every day.
Nah, you know what? Fuck.
Pause.
You
Yeah.
know,
Ooh, I give it to him every day too.
Nah.
God damn, where's the hype button? Whatever.
but hybrid, I forgot it, man.
So-
No, it's good lectures and it's good. Like his way of motivation, it's really weird. But after you get a hang of it, you're like, okay, I got it.
Yeah. No, I had to like I'm telling you, like I knew about Crooked, D-Miles, never. I've known about y'all since like 2010, 2011, because I studied everything.
Yeah.
Like if I want to do something, I'm gonna see how y'all do it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna see it from afar, and I'm gonna see, where your upside is, where your downside is, or like
DJ, you turn like DJ style.
not even DJ style, but
Just
just
a
like
DJ
everything, your
overall,
image,
yeah.
everything. Like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna dissect it all, and because I at one point I'm gonna get there, and I want to know what to do. So,
Same.
like I'm saying, like I it took me a while to understand that Crooked was completely different from what he portrays as like his business. Like personally, like
Oh, how's that?
have you seen his picture with the New York hat, with the Yankee hat?
The one that's been on this flight since 09.
He looks like a
Yes.
dick.
No,
yeah.
What do you
know
mean?
what I mean?
you can't even see his face, but
You
you
can't even
his
see his face.
asshole.
You can't even see his
The way
face.
you're looking down, bro.
Yeah,
The
yeah. The way
hat
you
and
looking
like
down. The one I
white
clown,
bottom.
I text him about it all the time. Like, yo, retire this shit. The same way you tell me.
Oh, you mean the
you
picture
you
of
need,
me?
Yeah, you need new press photos.
you
Yada
mean?
yada. Yeah,
You
like
think I look corny?
you look corny. You look like a dick, but you're actually a great person.
No,
That just
how
fucking.
does that picture make me look like a dick?
you
That's what
look
I'm
at
saying.
the picture.
What I'm saying is, like, you have to, like, I said, like, I've known about you, and it took me a while to understand that. Like, I could come at you with a perception of, like, damn, he seems like a dick. Like, I probably shouldn't say what up to him.
But I am kind of a dick, no?
I know, but you are. But it's like,
Yeah.
You're a friendly dick.
you're a friendly. Pause.
Yo.
Pause.
But, it's
How
like.
is I'm a dick
No,
less
friendly.
pause-worthy than a friendly dick?
A friendly
But
dick
what
is like,
What
all right, I'll tell you that,
I'm
mama.
saying all that to say it's like, fuck. What was I gonna say? Friendly dick.
Yeah, talk about your friendly dick analogy.
No, like,
Go ahead.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
yeah, like you don't have to like.
Is that like the rumors about me that I'm just
no,
thinking?
no. Like I said, I there was a point in my life where I wanted to be a fucking scam artist. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I said that shit too.
you know what I mean? Like, but I had to grow up. I had to learn. Like, you could do this shit by yourself.
Yeah.
You know. But what I'm saying is like, it's something I looked up to.
Yeah.
And I knew about y'all. Like I
Yeah.
it's something. So to be here, like we're peers, it's like.
Oh,
It's
I mean,
crazy.
Don't go that far. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You're just
See,
totally.
you're-
You're right. He's look. He's right. He's right. I surpassed him. You're right.
Oh, spicy.
You know what? Obviously, you have because Moma's description of you was he's like you but better.
Yeah,
he's the 2019 Roku box, and you're the 2012 Roku box.
You're the TV.
I'm the 2012 Roku
You're the
box.
TV box with the channel 99. You remember that box?
He's the new iPad. I'm the old iPad.
First iPod.
Yeah.
I feel you. No.
No. You know what? I you know what? I am completely confident to say you will surpass me, and I look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you.
And I think we all do, man. I think
Yeah.
that's why we're all here. Like, when I told Mo that we're gonna have you on the podcast, he says I'm gonna be on. I gotta be on. I gotta support this motherfucker.
And I'm glad you guys didn't tell me because having Mo here would have probably freaked me out. Even all week I was like, "Fuck, what the fuck do I have to talk about?"
Yeah, he kept texting me like, "Yo, can I look at your notes?"
I was like, "Yo, I need your notes." But I was kidding. I don't really, because I know I figured I was prepared he was gonna come with some fuck shit. Or something,
I mean, there's no fuck shit.
No, it's no fuck shit. No, I know.
We wouldn't do that to you. You're a fan.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is it's like, it's good to have stuff like this and people like you guys actually, to a certain extent, indirectly mentoring other DJs coming up. Because
I don't want that pressure, but yeah, I just
you
want
don't need you don't.
I want to.
You do it indirectly.
That's what I'm saying. Indirectly, because
indirectly.
There's a lot of like, even I'm not used to it, where I'm getting like DMs like, "Yo, like, love what you're doing, like you're going crazy," like, and I don't get it because to me I'm still a student, like I'm still looking up to you as people, from a marketing standpoint. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at Eric Deluxe, I'm looking at stuff like that, it's not about just music anymore, like it's about having a whole package. God damn!
You don't get have that button, bro.
You're on your way there. You're on your way there.
Hopefully,
You're 25.
26.
26. Yeah, dude.
You have a long,
my God.
like time to do whatever the fuck you want.
That's the thing.
Amazing, right?
I don't want to do whatever.
Insane.
The fuck I want.
Bro, imagine 7 years when he's 33, 32.
I don't think when he hits 31 or 32, I don't even think he'll talk to us.
No, he's cool.
I don't even think he'll remember this.
No, he will.
He's not gonna know us.
He's a nice guy.
He's not gonna remember this shit.
He's not gonna know any of us.
What do you mean?
He's gonna
What?
totally
I met him on
Remember this. Someone pulled this
Maybe
video.
like I can't talk.
he could be like,
I'm DJing a party for President Oprah.
Over 2020.
You know what it is? He's gonna hook up with some celebrity chick.
Oh,
she's gonna totally change you, yo.
That's what he tells me. You're gonna lose weight and you end up with a celebrity chick and not talk to me again.
Man.
I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I got a wife. Leave me alone, man.
Yeah. No, that's what.
Oh, you got a wife?
No, I don't have a fuck.
What are you talking
Not
about?
yet.
Not yet.
Oh, but you got okay. Yo, shots. Yo, the Dreamville dudes keep girls like on the low.
You're gonna get some. You're gonna hook up with some. You're gonna hook up with some.
Throwing girls at?
You're gonna hook up with some.
Throw
HB.
me a lie, bro.
You're gonna hook up with some HB.
No.
Yo, shut up.
Some higher being chick.
No, I can't.
She's gonna take it to another level.
I've seen the back end of that, and it's just not.
Find yourself a good girl in the
what you want.
valley, bro.
It doesn't align with what I,
Or in
value.
Downey.
What's one of the things that you're afraid of, though? You're saying that's not what you want.
Afraid of?
Yeah. I'll explain. The one thing that I'm afraid, or not afraid of, but one thing I really hate is when you meet an HB, a celebrity, someone on God status. When you meet them, they're completely delusional. They're not self-aware, and they're not really aware of like anything else besides what they need, what they want, or what. If it's not about them, they have no idea. If you can't do anything for them, they don't need to know you. It's like all this. It's just like self-hoarding, attention. Money, you know what I mean?
I feel like I was going down that route at some point, but like,
really,
yeah, but like being around them, like everybody, it's like
you mean like Dreamville and
yes, Mo, Boss, everybody. It's like it showed me that you can have all of this and still be a great person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, they're incredible. Like they have so much going on for themselves. Like the whole family is incredible, and everybody's doing something special.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, they're still some of the most incredible people you'll ever meet.
And that's why he fits so well at Dreamville, because, people kind of clown Dreamville for like being regular dudes, but everybody's a regular person, They just really, it's a pursuit of excellence in the art,
Right.
And just being like the best musician, DJ, or, you know, creative person you can be. And, you know, Nitrane has just been one of the guys since day one. And I don't think anyone at Dreamville is ever going to change because of like celebrity or any kind of awards. And you see it comes from the top. It comes from Cole.
That's why it's not going to change, because he had a self-reflection and a moment of clarity when he dropped Forest Hills.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
I think probably the hardest period for Cole. Everybody knows the first few years of his career was difficult on a personal level because of the pressure of being the first artist signed by Jay-Z, because of how the critics were impacting him. You know, like Twitter going off and like, oh, you're boring and this and that. And there was actually listening to all that, and you could tell, like, you know, the sideline story. He was kind of like half pregnant, trying to reconcile, you know, radio shit and like the authentic hip hop he really loved. And then with Villain, what's the name of the second album?
Born Center.
Born Center. He's just trying to like fan number one over there. With Born Center, he was still trying to prove the critics wrong and trying to kind of live in that space. How do you compare to Drake and Kendrick and Jay-Z and all your peers?
Right.
And then after that, that's when he was just like, man, fuck this shit. You know, I built my fan base. The only thing I care about is my music and my fans. And that was reflected in Forest Hills Drive and everything after that. And now he's like unstoppable. You know what I mean? Literally unstoppable. The man sells out arenas. There's just like hardly nobody like him except for like Drake.
Like we can go out and have like a huge club night, buy bottles, whatever, be the rapper crew.
Right.
But it's not fulfilling. It's not something we do. Like, it's not even something we probably enjoy.
It's probably the most grounded like crew of rappers and record label, right? Y'all like Dreamville is the most grounded and in touch. To me,
I think you know what,
with the common man, right?
Like, so when they was having the rapper years, because the rapper years did happen, Vegas and and Stockholm and Sweden and all of that. Those years really did happen. I was already a bit older than everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So I never really necessarily had my rapper years, but you know, you and me, we was DJing, hanging out in Manhattan. We was going out buying bottles, acting silly,
right,
fucking doing all of that. They probably hit some level of notoriety and fame where they were able to do that in their mid 20s. But by the time they got through that, they didn't need to do it no more. And it was really a fact of like, you just see everybody getting together as a family. You know, the guys, the women in the clique. It was really just like, we're going out to celebrate one another. And at some point, people just want to go back to somebody's crib or go eat. But those are really moments that they cherish, just being together.
Right.
You hardly see the Dreamville dudes going out by themselves, you know, ordering mad bottles, just trying to shine in the club. That just doesn't happen. They're always together. It's like a family thing.
Right. But like you said, it comes from the top too as well. You know what I mean? Because if Cole was on that flossy shit, it would kind of set the tone for everything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think so.
You're in great company. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean,
it's an awesome.
I don't take it for granted.
Yeah,
I know that. So
yeah, that's dope.
I play my part, and wherever I can help, I help. That's what I do.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to touch on? Pause. No?
Covered a lot.
That's it.
Done.
Thank you.
Good?
Thank
I'm
you
sure
for
there's a lot more.
Big shout to Scissor Spins.
Scissor Spins
Rescue
coming through. Engineer MoMA.
Yeah, I know. Yo, Nitrane, MoMA, thank you for guest hosting once again.
Yes.
And then Nitrane, yo, man, thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you guys.
You're gonna keep us updated on what you're doing and what you're dropping and all that shit.
I will.
Yeah, whatever I can do to help, bro.
Don't forget about us.
Don't forget about us. Why you shining? Why you shining?
Me being here is an honor. It's a complete. So please, thank you guys.
Yo, thank you, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you can check out the video at youtube.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for you to get all the videos on Friday as soon as they drop. And then Everyday People every first Sunday in LA. Tickets at $20. Hurry up before they sell out.
Damn.
I saw that you were serving food, and I was trying to make my way to the little area, but
We were just going over there where you
You
were
were
at.
selling food?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a taco stand, and sometimes we also have like outside food vendors come through.
Man,
Yeah,
I
so
wish
shout
I
out
would
to
have known.
you, you know, helping out my Mexican people with the taco stands. Back to
Always.
Yeah, back to me. I appreciate that. Thanks, James. What do you call it? Big shout out to DJ City. Everything's sponsored by DJ City. We appreciate you. That's it.
Thank you
Peace.
for the view.
Easy.